Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Keto King's Beer and Barbecue Banter, an open topic show, anything goes. And I'm your host, James P. Madonna, and this is our special winter solstice Yule. Happy Festivus, happy Krampus Day, season's greeting show before the big one, December 25th, which is Saturday, I believe. So this is it. This is the special holiday show, and it will be a special holiday show because at 4 p.m. we have a very special surprise guest. Okay, we are going to take a nosedive into the deep end with mysticism, Reiki, astrology, let's see, just, the whole occult. I know they use another word. They don't use occult anymore. World, spiritualist, psychic medium world, that whole aspect of life that intimidates people normally, except for those that are expert practitioners and that know about it quite well and are experienced. But the average person is intimidated by it because perhaps they're afraid of hearing things that they really are not ready to hear, the hard-hitting truth. And we will have a great time dabbling in some heavy-duty mysticism with our special guest, the mystical Minuty, mystical Kimra Minuty, will be joining us at 4 p.m. And I want to introduce my co-host, my original co-host, the one and only BC Beer Reviews from the state of Michigan. All right, BC, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you today, Master of Ceremonies? James?
Ronnie S. says, greetings, Earthlings. All right, thank you. Master Bader of Ceremonies. But I sent the link out to our usual panel, awaiting their arrival or message. Hey, there is our other illustrious co-host that is attending family events because of the holidays. That's why he cannot be with us. Jason Cleveland from the state of Washington. Jason. All right. Jason says, "Hey, Ronnie S." All right, the wonderful, the great Jason Cleveland. He's the guy. He's the man. When I sink my piranha teeth into political subjects as well as consumer advocate and science, society, all the deep subjects. That's my co-host. But because of the holidays, he has a family commitment, but he will be back after the holidays. Okay, now I'm just sipping on some Bacardi black rum here. Just to take the edge off of life to help relax. And we have good morning, Masumi, my dear. Good morning, Masumi from the Tokyo region of Japan. It is now 4:08 a.m. Monday in Japan. So good morning to Masumi.
Ooh, she's up early, man. Boy, she must have a heck of a commute to get to work, man.
No, actually she doesn't. She works in a salon. She doesn't have a far commute, but for some reason she's an early riser in the land of the rising sun. And she works out, goes to the gym, which is great. And very nice lady.
Yep.
Very nice woman. And thank you for joining us from Japan. And we have people from all over, like Jordy is from Scotland, another gentleman that makes his appearance. So, we have people from all over.
Yep.
Oh, Bart Robinson from southern New Jersey. Good afternoon, and Feliz Domingo. Happy Sunday to you, Bart Robinson. He is in the region where they had a few F4 tornadoes this year, and that's unheard of to have F4 tornadoes in New Jersey. I mean, that's more like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He's in a suburb of Philadelphia, maybe not too far from the Pine Barrens, where the Jersey Devil resides. Excuse me. Now, BC is going to grill beef as a special slab of bovine substance, animal flesh. What is on your menu, BC?
Well, today is a beef loin strip, and I've got and it's a black Angus beef loin strip. Now I've got a baked potato cooking in the toaster oven now. Okay. I've probably got maybe like a half hour before that potato's done. Probably the last 5 minutes or so when that potato's done, or even after it gets done cooking, I'll start grilling up that strip steak so that the potato's already done. And I ain't got to wait for the steak to get cold for the potato to come out. So now, if I time it just right, it should be right there.
Well, if you crank up the wood in your big wonderful smoker barbecue, if you get that wood cherry hot, you can wrap the potatoes after you rinse them off really good, get all the dirt out. You can wrap them in aluminum foil and place them in the smoker barbecue.
Or on the fire itself, you can do that too.
Yeah. Well, you want steam to build up in the potato. You want to make sure it doesn't take too long to cook. I would towards the end, you can open up the foil if you want to get that crispy skin on the potato.
Yeah, I'm doing. I hate to interrupt, man.
Go ahead.
This one I'm doing in house. I didn't have enough charcoal, so I'll show you how I'm doing this one.
Oh, okay.
right. So, with the scooter not running right, it's a little tough for me to go out and get some of the things I need.
The scooter is still in the shot in the garage.
Yeah. So, got the potato here in the toaster oven.
There you
Cooking.
go. All right.
So, see the potato in there.
Wrapped in the foil, right?
Yep. Now, for anybody that doesn't know how to make a potato, I mean, like this, it's kind of like what James is saying. Wrap it in foil, get that steam going. But what you want to do is you want to prick the potato, get like a fork, and do like a bunch of jabs all the way around the potato, so it doesn't explode on you while it's cooking. Now, as far as the beef goes,
Tommy, hi, greetings, Tommy.
I've got a. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but it's
the grill, a grill pan for the stove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the beef.
So you could sear it if you could sear the steak on high temperatures, so you get that crispy outside outer crust and pink in the middle.
Yeah. And here's the beef that I was talking about.
Okay, that Black Angus beef loin, and you can now you know what you could do with meat like that. You could either do it overnight, or you could do it for at least a good hour. You can marinate that in like a bottle of Kikkoman teriyaki sauce, some dark sesame oil, some rice wine vinegar, and then poke a lot of holes in the steak and let it marinate. Or you can use a balsamic vinaigrette, a salad dressing.
Yeah, or even in some cases Italian dressing,
or regular Italian salad dressing, because you got the oil and vinegar that usually olive oil that will help further tenderize the beef. Now, of course, you could do that with chicken breasts, pork chops, whatever or fish. The only thing, fish, you got to watch it. You can't walk away. It cooks very fast.
Yeah, fish you got to watch. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on this, so I'm gonna throw on some seasoning.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see your action. Let me see your well, I see you. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay. Now I've got to set this down for a second. Now I've got some pepper here. I'm just going to simply light pepper.
Right, fresh ground pepper.
Got some garlic salt.
Okay.
And flip this around. Do the other side.
Yeah. Now you can put any dry rub you please on both sides, people. You can use, a Cajun type dry rub, West Indies, like I have the Jamaican choice dry rubs. You can do the garam masala from India, which is like a curry but spicy. You can do a whole variation, a whole different type of seasoning for your dry rubs. I like dry rubs much better than barbecue sauce. Really, I'd rather have barbecue. I'd rather have A1 steak sauce, or Lee and Perrins Worcestershire sauce, or barbecue sauce on the side. I'd rather have on the side.
Now, this is what it looks like after I put the
Here we go. Yeah.
So, like I said, I'll wait till the potatoes done and cook it. It looks like I got about 25 more minutes left on that potato. So, we got the time.
Now, for those of you that are wondering, where is BC's big smoker barbecue grill that he uses outside with what happened was his motor scooter went went dead on him. Could be the battery, who knows. And
it was a starter.
And it's in the shop now, and he hasn't been able to go get more wood charcoal. Now he can also, if he is able to pick it up, because it's cheaper when you pick it up, he can get a big cord of firewood. As long as he can keep it bone dry, that's even better than the charcoal. And then he'll have wood for his fire pit and his barbecue. But you can't do it unless you have the means of transportation to haul it.
Yep.
Back home. Yeah, Bart Robinson knows that we've been having a troll. I think it's the same troll using different aliases, just talking gibberish on my shows, just to get under my skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to start blocking these trolls every time they come on with a new alias, because it's the same person. The person has keyboard courage. They don't have the balls to face people face to face, because they'll get their faces bashed in, and they know it.
I generally try not to interact with these trolls, but some of them are, especially like this one in particular, is like me being the way I am. Sometimes it just comes out.
Well, they're persistent. That's the problem, and they don't give up. And the best thing, like Ronald J. Terrio says, is to ignore them and don't give them any FaceTime or airtime. Just completely ignore them, which is what I'll do, because their objective is to agitate and get under our skin. That's their objective. So I'm going to start with the subject at hand. Now that you have presented what you're going to cook, and like if you've seen our past shows, you know that BC is an experienced expert barbecuer and smoker with smoking meats and everything. I mean, you'll see his smoker rather, in our past shows. So this is just a plan B, a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or let's say BC had a huge blizzard, and he had 2 feet of snow, and it would really be a hassle unless somebody snow blows BC's patio. Then he could still run the smoker grill. But anyway, I'm going to do the segment that I call Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Chiseler's Hall of Shame is a consumer advocate segment where we expose, name names of companies that really have contempt for the consumer. They don't really care about the consumer at all. They just want to take your money. And this has to do with food. Now, I picked up a couple cans of this. All right. Sounds Italian. You would think it tastes outstanding. All right. Luigi Vitelli's white clam sauce with garlic and herbs. All right. Now you see that photo? That makes it look like it's loaded with clams. Look at all those clams. Wow. I mean, yeah. Okay. what I have to say is, Luigi Vitelli, shame on you. You're despicable. This garbage should not be on the shelf at all. Just like Marie Callender and Banquet chicken pot pie or beef pot pies should not be in the frozen food section because they're loaded with cheap filler known as white potatoes with very little meat. Garbage like this should not be on the shelf, and I will tell you why. First of all, there's not big chunks of clam meat in there. It's very finely minced where you can barely see it. There's not much clam in here at all, of these little tiny particles of clam. There's not much clam in here. And you would think this would be an authentic recipe for white clam sauce. And what's in white clam sauce? Usually extra virgin olive oil. Well, guess what? It not only lacks extra virgin olive oil, it lacks olive oil completely. There is cheap soybean oil in here, and this has a bitter aftertaste. It tastes like shit.
Oh,
really. I'm used to real Italian food, and white clam sauce is usually clams, of course, with the broth. Hopefully, an ample supply of clams. Parsley, black pepper. You can use your favorite white wine. Don't use cooking wine. Don't use Holland House. It's high in sodium. You use a good wine that you would drink, like a white Zinfandel or imported German white wine, and extra virgin olive oil, garlic. Well, the garlic, you can barely see the garlic, just like you can barely see the clams. This is garbage. This guy is a crook, a shyster. I don't even know if this man exists. Maybe it's like the Quaker Oats man, it's a fictitious character, or Mama Celeste frozen pizza is fictitious also. But nevertheless, this is shit. It's garbage. They should be ashamed of themselves. I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to toss it. And,
don't do it. Give it to the homeless. They'll take it.
Packed by, I should have brought my magnifying glass. Packed and distributed by Vitelli Foods Incorporated, Fair Lawn, New Jersey. I mean, not even cheap olive oil, soybean oil, and it's most likely genetically modified soybeans. It's not cold pressed organic soybeans.
Yeah.
Not if it's in a supermarket. So
alone in the can.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's better clam products out there in a can. I'm sure there is.
I usually make my own clam sauce. It's really easy. But I saw it. I said, all right, let me give it a shot. Sometimes, especially if I have appointments and I come home and I'm sleepy, I don't have the energy to cook from scratch, and I'll do a quickie because it's only me here, So, but this is trash. This is garbage. Just like those pot pies I mentioned before, and I'll never eat it again. Actually, I'll never eat canned clam sauce again.
No.
Now, if I make spaghetti with marinara sauce using chopped organic vine ripened
tomatoes,
chopped vine ripened tomatoes from Trader Joe's, a Trader Joe product, you're talking about super high quality, bursting with flavor.
Yeah.
And that's a different story.
Yeah.
But not supermarket food especially any nationally advertised food company, which is only concerned about getting you to part with your money. They're not concerned about quality, which is really amazing because they need customers. Customers do not need their product
Yeah.
to eat. Like a restaurant. The restaurant needs customers. So if the restaurant screws over the consumer, hey, the consumer doesn't need to eat at that restaurant.
Now they're going to find another restaurant to go to that they're going to probably like just as much, if not more.
Like to survive, they don't need to go to a specific restaurant to eat. So they should have a lot more respect about their customers and do the right thing. And don't cut corners and be greedy like this fucking guy, this Luigi Vitelli. Don't cut corners and be greedy. And that goes for any food-oriented business, or even cars, car manufacturing, or anything. Any quality control. Have perhaps round-the-clock research and development. Have your engineers always work to improve your product, because once you have bad reviews, it's extremely hard to get people to change their mind about your company and your product. Once you got a bad reputation, word of mouth. Like if you go on Amazon Prime and you read the reviews, which I do, and you got a product with 1 or 2 stars where people are cursing your company out, and then you decide, oh, why did I do such a terrible thing? I'm going to turn my company around and make a high quality product. Well, guess what? Try to convince those people to try your product again. There's a good chance they won't.
Yeah. I mean, unless you get somebody that hasn't heard about it, then that's a different story. But most people generally watch news or do their research before they do that,
Yeah. Oh, very important, folks. Read the reviews. Hey, so you have the Michigan version of Ronald Theriot's Train.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it's a quarter mile, but it's about 100 to 200 feet from my house. I mean, it's real close. It just went just like that. Oh, it's still coming. Okay. I'll give you a shot. Okay, I don't know if you can see like the railroad signs out there in the distance, but it's out that way. So
right, that's the front of your house. Okay, well you're in a nice quiet residential area, I guess.
Yeah, this part of Wyandott's really nice. I really enjoy it. So it's a lot better than where I used to live. It was in a E-course. And it was I kind of call it like an extension of Detroit. So but that's just me though. Come here, Rocky.
Detroit, and there's from what I understand, all the smaller United States cities, major cities that are not the mega giants, a lot of them, they're very limited in the amount of funding they get from the government, and a lot of them are run down.
Yeah.
Like in Pittsburgh, I heard, Memphis, Tennessee, Detroit, they have their problems, and then they have that uncalled for problem that should have never happened, and that's the water supply in Flint, Michigan.
Oh yeah, that was just a disaster all the way around.
Like it's almost like they allowed it to manifest itself like they wanted to poison the people that live there.
Yeah. And,
Very,
you know, the funny thing is they used to get donations from people to supply the people of Flint with like bottled water and whatnot. And, you know, the thing that got me the most about it, not the government, but the governor was Ron Schneider, not Ron Schneider, but oh God, I forget his name. But he was involved, and they're suing him. They're looking to put him in jail for what happened in Flint. So yeah, I haven't heard much about it, but I'm assuming the trial is still going on. So it's one of them things, and I've noticed that talking about donations, there was a rock group Pearl Jam where they donated like so many thousands for it, which was also for a band that's that huge to make a donation. You know, never heard too many bands making donations like that to a cause.
well, is there a huge lawsuit going on where the people of Flint versus
Like the water company in the state, yeah. So I don't know the exact details, but I know the former governor is in that, and the I guess government officials of Flint are also involved with that, seeing how they were all together, where they were going to switch from the Detroit water to the Flint water because it was cheaper. Get that cheaper, kind of like some products that we were just talking about, where they're just cheap all the way around.
Yeah. So in other words, give people municipal tap water that is equal to the Ganges River, and have people, get sick and drop dead because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what else I was suspicious of? The governor of Michigan didn't even bother to call out the National Guard when the right-wing militants stormed the Michigan State Capitol building.
Oh, they're in Lansing, yeah.
With weapons, with automatic weapons. She didn't even bother to call out the National Guard, which I would have right away.
Yeah.
Pussy, no backbone, no spine. This is how, unfortunately, there are progressives which are fantastic, that are smart, that really have high intelligence, and then there are neoliberals who they pander to certain lobbying groups for votes. They're afraid of offending people. They're afraid of people not liking them. They pretty much, I think, they pander for votes. So, and they want power. They don't care about equality and everyone treated fairly. They want power, and this what's her name? Windmere or Windmill?
Gretchen Whitmer. Yeah, Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah. She behaved like a neoliberal in the fact that she did not want to take action against those Yosemite Sams, those flag waving right wingers who tried to pull a January 6th insurrectionist. This was before January 6th, of course.
Yeah.
Take over the state government of Michigan. She didn't want to take any action. Like, she was pandering to them. Like, she didn't want to lose any votes for her reelection. And it's embarrassing because you're allowing these lunatic groups to undermine the basic democracy of the United States, fundamental democracy. It's really, well, it's obvious when they do things like that, because a true progressive will not pander. A real progressive will not pander. Like, pandering would be the Cleveland Indians changing their name to the Cleveland Guardians, which I think is really lame, ridiculous.
Yeah.
After 104 years, the Washington Redskins are now the Washington football team.
That one gets me. I was like, I mean, come on, man. A Washington football team. You got to come up with a better name than that.
No, I would have left. There's nothing bigoted about the Washington Redskins Native American logo on the side. I would have renamed it the Washington Warriors or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Washington football team, the Cleveland Indians. You know, the logo's cute. You know, it's a smiling Native American.
Yeah.
A big smile, like Jason Cleveland's logo. And I highly doubt if anyone who goes to these games, who buys a ticket, has any bigoted thoughts in their mind when they go to see their teams play. There's no prejudice in their minds. You know, they're not mocking out the Cleveland Indians logo. They're not thinking about that.
No.
So
anyway,
it's like
saying last week, it was like, you know, I don't know if your parents ever did this with you, but it was like when you're a kid and you're crying, and how after the mention, oh, you're crying. If you don't stop, I'll give you something to really cry about. Now, if you change that phrase a little bit to the point where it's like, oh, you're offended, keep it up. I'll give you something to be really offended about. It's like,
yeah, it's like these people have too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
To be obsessed over these things. You know,
it's like I seen this one thing where I think it was a meme where you probably know who Andrew Dice Clay is, the comedian. Yeah. Well, they showed a picture of him like back in his heyday when he was popular, and it's like, if you kids think you're offended now, let me introduce you to somebody that I know, and they show a picture of him, and that would work good with either him or Sam Kinison, either way. So,
well, it's like those people they call shock jocks.
Yeah.
Like Howard Stern. I mean, it's all entertainment. You know, it's all entertainment. That's their shtick. I mean, that's their gimmick.
That's what they do. That's what they're. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like a job, but that's what they do. You know.
Yeah, it's like the people that actually take pro wrestling, especially in the old days, they take pro wrestling so seriously that they try to enact violence against the heels, the bad guys in pro wrestling. I mean, this is a gimmick. This is by being a heel, you have to get heat on yourself from the audience.
Yeah.
You have to rile people up, but not to the point where these people try to kill you.
Yeah. You know, I mean, to kind of go on with what you're saying, like to a certain extent. Now, this is probably the perfect time to say it, but you know, the moves and stuff that they do in the ring, you know, all them figure fours, some clotheslines, and what have you, the tombstones and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, them moves are real, and you know, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, like, you know, where you come out and you start talking, you know, smack or whatever to be getting that heat to be a heel. Okay, that's the show part. You know, that's comes with the business.
Yeah.
So
exactly. That's part of the entertainment. I mean, these people are not like that in real life. I mean, if they are, it's very pathetic and sad. But these people are just regular folks with families.
yeah.
You
That they're
know,
just trying to keep a house or a roof over and their kids fed, you know. So
yeah, they're not. A lot of them are very normal, intelligent people. If you talk to them, I mean, I've met a handful of them, and they know how and when to leave their gimmick behind at the arena. When they leave,
or at the door, basically. Yeah.
at the door, you leave your job at the door. You don't take it home with you. That's it. They're done. It's like, does Johnny Depp walk around with his family making believe he's a pirate?
No.
Pirates. The pirates
It'd be funny if he did, though.
What is it, Captain Jack Sparrow? Does he act like Captain Jack Sparrow when he's with his wife and kids? No.
Who's that other one? It's like Arnold, man. Do you think he actually walks around like a robot, like he's the T-800 from the Terminator or from Conan the Barbarian? No.
Does he walk around with the sword? No.
Does he keep going around? Get to the chopper now. Go to the chopper now.
Yeah. Does he walk around in public like flexing in front of strangers? No. Now, what does I know he screwed up his marriage with Maria Shriver. By fooling around with the Latina maid, Pena. Her last name was Pena, and they got her pregnant, and his son actually is all grown up, and he works out with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he looks like his father.
Yeah, he does too.
He's doing very well. He's a happy kid. He seems like a normal kid, and he has his father's genetics, definitely.
Yeah.
And actually, his children by Maria Shriver actually accepted this boy as their half brother, and they've accepted him into the family.
Oh,
so
nice.
During holidays, he joins them, and they've, I guess, they don't forget, but they forgave.
Yeah, that kind of makes me think of that joke. It kind of lends itself to the shock jock things that we were just talking about being offensive. Now, this might be it, but this is a little joke I heard. You know why Arnold and Maria Shriver got married?
Why?
So they could have a bulletproof Kennedy.
A bulletproof Kennedy. I'll give you an example of shock jock, and it got their show terminated. There was a couple dudes that had a very popular radio show in New York City that might have been syndicated. It might have been nationwide. It was called Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Opie and Anthony, what got their show terminated was that they had a couple go into St. Patrick's Cathedral, Catholic Church, and have sex in the Catholic Church. and they got caught doing this, and they had the microphone on during their sexual entanglement, and then they had it on the radio, all the sound effects and everything. They had it on the radio, and I think it's a horrible thing to do, but it was their humor, and then they got terminated. Yeah, Bart Robinson knows. Yeah, Opie and Anthony. That was the last show they did, and they were funny looking dudes. I mean, they had the perfect face for radio. Some people are just born for radio. Like, they have the personality or their natural born comics, or they have very unique voice.
Oh yeah.
But they're ugly as all hell. Well, those people are
Like,
they're
you ever watch that TV show, the Drew Carey show?
Oh, they were syndicated. Yeah, Drew Carey's from Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, you probably know the character. Was it Phoebe? I think, but she was the one that wore all the heavy makeup. And
Okay. Yeah, I
you
got
know
you.
how I'm talking
I
about.
barely remember, but yeah.
The chunky girl. And what Rush Limbaugh came on the show and it looks at her and says, "You know, you've got the perfect face for radio." So, kind of shows you right there.
Hey, Western Mike, I sent you the link. You were all enthusiastic about coming on the show 2 times this week and last week. It's on Facebook Messenger. There's a lot of things cracking. We have a very special guest at 4 p.m. We did a little consumer advocate talking before. It's an open topic, uncensored show. You can discuss anything you want. But we have a very, very popular, very well established special guest at 4 p.m. that has a huge following. Okay. All right. No problem.
Oh, is he coming on or no?
Yeah. Well, I thought, see, your name on Facebook Messenger says Instagram also, because Instagram is owned by the infamous Mark Zuckergeek, the man with the big beak, Zuckerberg. He owns Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook.
Now, doesn't he also have Google Chats as well?
No, the mystical Kimra Minuty. She's a Reiki master, a spiritualist, astrologer. She's got a huge following. Yeah, she's coming on in about 10 minutes. I don't know where Eric is. Eric is he's pretty well rounded. He's a highly intelligent guy, but he talks a long time about craft beer and liquor.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker. The only reason why you see me bring a drink on a show is I need to bring something on the show to be with friends. But after the one beer or little bottle of liqueur, that's it. Like, I have some Bacardi Black Rum, just to help relax.
Yeah.
I only have so much because people, they've never seen me intoxicated ever because I'm not a drinker. So for him, I like well-rounded people that can talk about any subject, because there's definitely more to life than one subject.
Oh yeah, definitely,
without a doubt. Now, BC is cooking on his stovetop grill a very nice Black Angus steak and a baked potato in the toaster oven, because his motor scooter is in the garage and he doesn't have the means to go get the wood charcoal for his smoker outside.
Yeah. And this steak is starting to turn out real good right now. I'll show you how it's looking so far.
Oh no, intoxication makes you feel horrible. It's not relaxation. Hold on, let me give him the old bird's eye view there. Let's get a shot of that. Oh, there you go.
Like how I got that diamond grill mark on there.
Yeah, because you put them both ways.
Yeah, at a 45-degree angle. Yeah.
There you go. You got a black Angus cooking away, and you got the potato
Yeah. I'll show you the potato now. I already got it out over here.
And this is until BC has transportation, and he can get his wood charcoal supply.
Yeah.
You know,
I should be able to come up tomorrow or Tuesday. So
yeah,
the buses ain't running out that way right now. So Saturdays and Sundays it's kind of hard for me to get this stuff.
yeah. But seriously, the firewood is a lot more economical than using the wood charcoal.
Yeah. It's like I said, if I could get the firewood myself, I'd get it. And that other firewood being like starting at $110 delivered, and that's $4 every mile that they have to leave where they're from to get here. They're looking at least $150, $160 for a cord of wood.
Are you talking about?
I ain't got the money from all that.
Are you talking about to have it delivered?
Yeah. So,
but to go get it yourself.
Yeah, it's $40. Yeah.
$40.
Yeah. Now, granted, the one that's $40 is one company. The one that's 110, that's a different company. So I don't want to mislead you thinking that it's the same company. So it's two different companies. So, but yeah, if it was my way, I would have had the wood by now. But I'm just living within my means here.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. You know, I mean,
exactly.
It's good that you have that stovetop grill. I have my Korean stovetop grill, and I also have a few pieces of cast iron cookware.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I love cast iron.
So I showed it on the show, a live show. I have the rectangular griddle that fits over 2 jets.
Oh yeah.
I got the skillet, and then I got the baby skillet. You know, I can do 1 8-ounce hamburger in the baby skillet. I can do an omelet. I can do fried eggs. I can do, whatever in the baby skillet. And if I had to start over again and I had no cookware, the first thing I would get is a cast iron pan called the chicken fryer. It's very deep.
Okay.
It's deep, so you can, but it's very versatile. You can do many things in the cast iron chicken fryer. You can stir fry, you could deep fry, you could saute. In other words, you could literally do everything with this deep chicken fryer cast iron skillet. It happens to be big. It's big enough to cook a meal for a family. You can do breakfast, pancakes in there if you want, whatever. But, the reason why it's so high is they want you to be able to deep fry it.
Well, yep, this bad boy's done.
When you say the bad boy, you mean the potato or the steak?
Both. See, here we go.
Whoa. Hold on. Let me get a bird's eye view of that there.
Can you see it?
Yeah. You got any sour cream? Is that sour cream?
Yep.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Sour cream, a big black Angus steak. Look at that. You put sour cream on like I do.
Yep. Oh my God, I love this so much.
Yeah.
Look at my skin.
Yeah, meta book. What meta book. Wonder how long it took them to come up with that name. Meta book.
Oh, meta book. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Zuckerberg is he loves to punish people left and right and suspend you and put you in Facebook prison for a month. But at the same time, he'll steal your personal information and sell it to companies.
Ooh.
He'll do that. He's a hypocrite. He's also a piece of shit. Hold on,
Yeah.
this is worth going full screen. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, rare. I'd say it's borderline rare, medium rare.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Black Angus. I guarantee that looks real tasty.
Oh my God.
And you
It's so
seasoned,
good.
you seasoned it up good too.
Yeah, with the garlic, pepper, and salt. Yeah.
Enjoy, my friend.
Thank you.
You're a meat and potatoes guy.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, I'm going to. One moment, uno momento, por favor. All right. So, good food is one of the great pleasures of life. Drinking, even if you drink the best, it's okay, but not if you have a problem with it. My brother-in-law has a severe problem with it, and believe me, when you lose your driver's license and then you have to get a lawyer, and then you have to go to if you get DWI'd, and you have to go through the workshop, what the hell they call it, some kind of rehabilitative seminars, supposedly rehabilitative.
Like AA meetings or something.
Yeah, you got to go to these meetings that the state runs, they try to make you feel really bad about you getting behind the wheel and being intoxicated, which I agree. If you're intoxicated, you should not be driving.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I do my beer shows, I stay right here at home. I do not go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, now you have Uber and Lyft, and now if somebody wants to go out for New Year's Eve, they could take an Uber. They don't have to stay in a hotel. They can take an Uber there and an Uber home. Of course, they're gonna get ripped off by the Uber because it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I can imagine what they charge, because of the demand for it. But you don't want to lose your license and vehicle by getting DWI'd, folks. Now there's two kinds of alcoholics. There's the friendly drunk, and there's the nasty drunk that tries to pick fights with people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I know two people that try to pick fights with people when they're intoxicated. I know two people personally, but not everyone's like that. If I'm not driving and I'm at, let's say, a wedding reception, and I have a lot of really good drinks, like, let's say, I don't know, even if I have like a whole bunch of cocktails, let's say I have gin and tonics or something, or sombreros, and I get pretty buzzed. I'm not driving. I'm friendly. I'm not aggressive. I'm not nasty if I have too much to drink. But that's very rare. Because I mean, how many wedding receptions have I been to in my lifetime? Not that many.
Yeah, same. I haven't been to many either. Maybe what? Maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah. Does anybody have any catered divorce parties? Okay, here we are. I want to introduce everyone to the one and only mystical Minuty, mystical Kimron Minuty, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Can you guys see me okay?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I see you very clearly in high definition. Your audio is great.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, now, if those of you out there, hold on, let me do the other way. Those of you out there that are not familiar with Kimron Minuty, she's a Reiki master. She's a spiritualist. She does astrology. She does many things, and she will talk a little bit about herself or a lot about herself, whatever she desires. And I'm going to put her on full screen so she can introduce herself. And oh, let me do this. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. All right. So I got a little something. I tried to copy and paste your link that allows people to book appointments with you, but on YouTube, but it won't allow me. They're not like live links. Like you can't click on them and go anywhere, and you can't like copy and paste them.
Well, if you go to my social media, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram and on Facebook and on TikTok. Okay. So if you follow me on TikTok at Kimra Minuty Ascension, hi Mike, or on Instagram at Kimra Minuty or Silver Lining Spirals, can you drop those in the? I don't have a chat ability. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. Well, I just want to introduce. Well, BC is from Michigan. Mike Hilton is from San Francisco, and you're in. Kimron Minuty is in Florida, and
I'm in Florida.
She's in Florida, and she's a professional with a huge following, and she's going to talk about herself, introduce herself. Now, Mike, how are you doing this weekend so far?
Pretty good, doing pretty good. Over here at, gonna show this here, Fred's Cafe in Sausalito. Here's Sausalito. Over there, that's a little abandoned, I think. I think that used to be a shopping mall.
Sausalito.
Check that out over there.
In spaghetti sauce, Sausalito.
Well, the way we're going with the food, probably.
Well, you're the only one there, so it must be Omicron's fault.
Think so. Something about it.
Omicron sounds very alien. It sounds alien, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna go to Kimron Minuty. She can introduce herself. Oh, what are you drinking? Orange juice?
That's you mentioned not drinking that much. My beverage.
Yeah, he just gave up drinking. Kimron, he had a big problem, like my brother-in-law did.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Thank you. Thank you.
How long has it been? Your sobriety?
Almost a month.
Really? That long? Wow.
Almost a month. Yeah.
First 30 days was the hardest.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Don't let anybody discourage you.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go to Kimron, and she's going to talk about what she does. And
so, James, I dropped my my ats for IG and TikTok in the private chat. So if you want to put them up, that'll be easier for you. So, guys, thank you so much for having me on your show. My name is Kimra Minuty. I'm an intuitive ascension coach. For those of you who don't know what that is, because most people are like, what's an ascension coach? I help people who are highly sensitive, empaths, people who have claircognizance, clair empathy, clairsentience, clairgustus, people who are highly sensitive, who dream things, see things, feel things, and I just want you to know, if you are one of those people, you're not crazy. These things do exist. And so I work with energy, and I help people who are going through a spiritual awakening. So the majority of the United States and the world, I feel, went through a spiritual awakening with this whole virus that we've been having, and watching how that has taken away freedoms and, you know, split people apart, right? So I help people deal with the fact that society isn't doing what your heart feels it should do, right? Because it's hard out there. If you watch the news all day, you're going to be real depressed, angry, frustrated, all types of stuff. So I help people deal with their emotions, their trauma, so that they can harness their spiritual gifts and have a better life.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been doing this. I've been a coach now for about 2 years, actually, but I have been in the spiritual realm for my entire life. I just was led and taught by spirit. So I started dealing with tarot cards and astrology when I was about 9. Well, I got my first crystal when I was 9 years old, and then I picked up some abnormal psychology. And then when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old, I picked up tarot cards and oracle cards. And I've been at it ever since. I've just been adding things to my repertoire. So, yeah, that's me.
Very good. Oh, quartz crystal pendulum. Are you
Nice.
happy about this show? Yeah.
Looks pretty happy.
Yeah, looks happy. Are
Right side.
is the yeah, it's going clockwise. Is the pandemic with Omicron going to be like a repeat of 2020, since the New York City's rate doubled in 4 days? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why it was best to kind of wait till now to decide whether or not to get vaccinated, in my personal opinion. Because if you made it this far without getting it, something's all right.
Okay. You have a question. I got the opalite now.
No, I don't usually have questions because I'm usually channeling things. If you ask me a question,
Yeah.
that like so
You could.
when I channel things,
Right.
so I'm an open channel. So when I channel things, if you ask me a question, that activates the channeling.
Oh, okay.
So
You have your tarot cards too?
I do. I have a ton of them. So I was gonna pull a card to see what we could start. Here, I'll let you decide what deck to use.
Yeah, let me just ask a question about, is Michael Hilton going to be successful at the alcoholism issue that he gave up? Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
thank
And listen, I want you to understand that if you have a relapse, that doesn't mean you're not successful. So don't like, oftentimes people are afraid of relapsing and it forces a relapse. So don't be afraid to fuck up because you're human. Okay? But
oh yeah.
at the same time, be mindful that that's not what you want long term, right?
No, gosh, no.
Yeah.
Maybe once the blue moon, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what you want is control.
Will
Right now,
Michael,
that thing has control over you, and that's not what you want.
will Michael Hilton someday be able to have one, let's say, Imperial IPA, and that's it, and no more?
Will you even want it at that point? Because ew, what are we doing?
Hard to say. Maybe if you get sick of something.
Yeah, would he get to the point where he'll be forcing one down?
I'm gonna go with the one sip quit.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That might happen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go with the one sip quit. All right, I'm gonna pull out a card from the Healing with the Angels that I have. Because okay, so in terms of astrology for today, right? We have Venus going retrograde in Capricorn. We also have
wow.
the Gemini full moon in progress. I'm gonna shuffle these like I'm in Vegas. Don't mind me.
When the
I'm
moon
gonna mute myself.
seven house and you.
Yeah, so we have two really major changes in the astrology. So this Gemini full moon is the last full moon of the year, first and foremost, right? So that's always major. And in addition to that, it's coinciding with Venus going retrograde into Capricorn. So there's a lot of conversations right now about twin flames. And I'm not a person who really likes to talk about twin flames because it's murky word. It's like murky territory, and that's not my juju. But since Gemini is the twins, it talks about, you have to talk about relationships. Okay, so all of your relationships are now under scrutiny, whether they be friendship relationships, whether they be partner relationships, whether they be parent relationships, whether they be relationships with drugs. Okay, all of those things are being called up for you to pay attention to and decide whether or not you're going to continue to have that level of disrespect for yourself. Honestly, like, how are you allowing people to treat you in the way that you deserve? Where is your self-worth at? Okay, so for the next, let's see, I think Venus is going to be retro in Capricorn for the next 90 days or so, or some amount. I really don't know. I'm going to be real. I didn't look at this. I'm just running off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then, but it's going to go direct into Capricorn again. So basically Venus in Capricorn is going to be hanging out till March. So this influence is going to be over everyone for a long time. So just, if you're lying to yourself about something in a relationship, you better bet your bottom dollar it's coming up.
I mean, it's better to be alone and unattached than to be in a toxic relationship with the wrong people. It's better to detach.
Yeah, but it's hard to detach when you're used to being in that sort of conflict type of attachment. Like, okay, so attachments aren't easy, right? And not to shout out Mike, but addictions are the perfect example of it not being easy to let go of things. Okay, and it can be anything. It can be porn, it can be drugs, it can be food, it can be cigarettes. Like, people want to act like it's just drugs. It can be spirituality. People bypass the hell out of the things that they want to do, and they're just doing what they think their like higher self is telling them to do, and they're not actually implementing that and embodying it in their everyday life.
Would that be like fanaticism, like people that like are part of a cult?
That's an extreme level. I'm talking about simple stuff in your everyday life. Like, you follow all these groups online and you talk about the importance of caring for your body, and your body is a temple, and then you don't drink water.
Oh, do as I say, not as
I do. Right. Like,
well, there was a famous
start with the basics, like drink water.
There was a famous medical nutritionist that had a daily show in New York City. His name was Dr. Stuart Berger, and his dirty secret was he was addicted to cocaine, and he would talk about nutrition and tell people that what to eat, what not to eat, and supplement.
Right. So eventually that shit is going to come to light. Like, you have to be truthful about what it is you do, right? Like,
yeah, you can't worry about
something. Yeah, if you do, like, for me, look, I'll be truthful right now. Look, full disclosure, I smoke weed.
Yeah, but that's a miracle herb.
It's a miracle herb, and I have a license for it because I actually have physical ailments that allow me to do so. Okay. Now, can that be abused? Absolutely. Do I scale it back when I'm like, whoa, doing a little too much? Yeah, because I'm mindfully aware of what's going on. But I have actual physical things that I am utilizing this for to help me survive my life without being on all types of pharmaceuticals. That's
Yeah,
what
big.
to do. Okay.
Would medical cannabis, can it be a replacement for, let's say, anti-anxiety, like Xanax or Klonopin or things like that?
Yes and no. So I'm going to say yes and no. Why? Because I spent 20 years on all those medications. Okay, 20 years. I was on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications. I was on pain medications.
But you got off.
Not a lot of, not the pain medications for as much, often on the pain medications, but all of the antipsychotic drugs and stuff for almost 20 years, because I'm a very strong channel, and there wasn't a frame of reference for my ability to feel people's pain and take on their illnesses. So they thought I was crazy, right? Like, duh.
You meant empathic.
Yeah, and but I'm an empathic healer, so I could literally take your illness into my body, become sick myself,
Mm-hmm.
and have no real reason for it. And then they're looking at me like there's nothing wrong with you, but I'm doing all your symptoms. I'm vomiting, I'm pain, all these things. So I used to take things on. So that presented as a chronic mental illness. Okay. Now, fast forward to today. I don't take any medications that are for mental illnesses. I meditate for a minimum of 15 minutes every day. I talk to my spirit guides all day. I work in my path and in my zone of genius. I create the things that I need to create to be of a service to the collective. I've found my purpose. So because I've found my purpose, I don't have as much emotional instability, right? And I understand now what's going on, because now I recognize that certain transits will make me so-called manic. I'm not manic. If I focus and I work in my zone of genius, I create things in flow. Okay. So for instance, since this is a Gemini moon, my moon is actually in Gemini. Hey, Jordy.
Hey, I want to say hi to Jordy from Scotland. It is now about 5 hours. He's 5 hours ahead of us in time. How are you doing, Jordy?
Yeah, I'm doing great, James. How are you? Hello, James. Hello, BC. Hello, Mike. Hello, camera.
Hi.
Hey, Jordy.
So
Hey,
like
Mike.
I was saying, I just make different things when I'm in flow, and then when I'm not in flow, I don't push myself. Like if I'm having a crap moment and I can't create anything, I just take a break. I go to sleep. I do something totally different. I go make TikTok. I sit in my bathtub. Like I just don't fuck with it, because I know that now is not the time. I don't try to effort my way through things. I don't try to force myself to be opposite of what I am. I'm a person who has to work in flow. So when I honor that, amazing things happen. So I didn't do shit for 3 weeks, and I was like pulling my hair out, right? I was like, oh, what the hell? And I knew that it was one of those things, but I was like, oh, but it still sucked, right? So I was like, oh, I'm tired of feeling like this. I don't want to be in the shits no more. I know that the shits will stop soon, but I don't care. It sucks, right? Well, finally, the veil lifts, and I'm like, oh, hallelujah. This Gemini moon kicked in 2 days prior to its actual date. The same day that the Gemini moon transit kicked in, I put my podcast together. I put it on Apple, Anchor, Spotify. I got 3 episodes loaded. I freaking made a meditation, put that bitch on YouTube, like fixed my LinkedIn. Like I was like, and boom, now it's today, right? So, and we're podcasting together, so I can talk about this shit. So
shoot the works, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you work in flow instead of fighting yourself. I could have beat myself up for these 3 weeks, and then when the impulse came, I would have been too tired to carry it out, right? I wouldn't have been able to accomplish shit because I'd been fighting myself that whole time span prior to it. But because I understood what I was going through, because I understood, I was like, oh, I'm having another dark night of the soul. Freaking disgusting, yay, right? I was like, great, something fabulous is going to happen on the other side. So let me just hold it down. Let me sleep. Let me take good care of myself. Let me meditate. Let me just wait this bullshit out. And then it all popped. And I was like, whew, I made it through to the other side. Hallelujah. And then that's how we go.
I have a question for you, but first I want to see what Jordy is drinking. Maybe he's drinking something from the United Kingdom. What are you drinking, Jordy?
I'm drinking Kronenberg 1664. Have you had this before?
No. Where's it from? England?
This is from France.
Oh, okay. No, never
Oh,
heard.
very nice.
Avec Savour, France, since 1664. This is a 5% lager and a 660 ml bottle.
What's the ABV?
The ABV is 5% volume.
5%.
And I have it in this.
Is it a Pilsner or is it a lager? What is it?
It's a French style lager, like French lager. But this one specifically is brewed in the UK. This one is specifically brewed in the UK, but it's actually a French brewery, Kronenberg 64. And I have it in this Christmas tankard. It says it's the most wonderful time for a beer. So it's the most wonderful time for a beer. So yeah. So cheers to everyone.
Cheers to you, Jordy. Now, what I wanted to
Cheers.
ask Kimra as soon as she gets back.
No, I mean, while she's doing her thing, I'm not trying to be funny or poke fun, but you know, she was talking about like bringing on the, I guess, the shit that's going on in someone's life, and she takes it on, and you know,
being empathic, being an empath, you mean?
And you know, I don't know how many people out there actually watch Star Trek, but there was an episode in the original series where there was somebody like that in the show, and they were in empaths, and like if Kirk or Spock got hurt, she kind of took on that sort of thing of what they had, and they were, I guess,
I do remember that. I do remember that episode. Yeah,
I like Star Trek. I definitely remember that episode. I didn't even think about it until now, though. That's weird.
Yeah,
because it totally happened to me, and it sucked. Like I had no idea what was going on, and it happened for like literally for 10 years. Like for 10 years, I was so messed up mentally and emotionally because as a channel, it's like I can hear all types of stuff. Like I didn't know that first I was a channel first. Damn it, right? So that was rough. And then secondarily, I could hear things from different like dead people, different spirits, different dimensions, like galactic type stuff, like starseeds. So anybody who knows what a starseed is, so I could hear different. So I would hear like different frequencies, and I don't know what all of this stuff is, right? Thank God I didn't tell my therapist I could hear these voices, or they would have totally locked me up.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, you remember what they did to Linda Blair when she was having symptoms? I think it was Exorcist 2, The Heretic. They sent her to like a psychiatric hospital and will perform all kinds of tests on her.
Right. Look, I was smart enough to not do that. They got me in the hospital for 7 days. Don't get me wrong. But they had to release me on my own recognizance because at the time I was in nursing school. And so I knew my HIPAA. And I knew that they were violating my HIPAA. So I was just calling them out on it. I was out of my head. Don't get me wrong. I was totally out of my head. But I was still completely aware of what was happening. And I was like, no, you guys are not going to trick me like that. You've kept me past the 72-hour Baker Act. You've given me medication without my consent. You've done all these things that are not according to the law, but you've done them anyway. And I'm fully aware. You got to get me out of here. Quit playing. So they released me on the 7th day on my own recognizance. And if you know anything about numerology, 7 is the number of the divine inspiration coming from heaven. Okay, if you look at the number 7, it's the sky touching the earth. So this is like, so I left on the 7th day, and of course God created the world in 7 days, right? If you want to go biblical, but whatever. And in that time span, I was reborn. Okay, and that person is the person who worked diligently to become this coach person that you see now. And back then, everybody was like, "Oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." Now they're like, "How do you know all this stuff?" And I was all like, "You
Well,
wasn't listening when I was talking."
yeah, because when I was living at the house in my hometown, we had some paranormal things happening, and I remember listening to like Amy Allen on the Dead Files, even Zach Bagans on Ghost Adventures, where if you hear 3 knocks, that could be an evil spirit mocking the Trinity, or if you wake up with 3 scratches on your body, it's a mocking of the Trinity. Now, what Amy Allen does, communicating with spirits and being able to see them, is that, what kind of a medium would she be classified as?
See, I don't honestly know that because I'm new to the mediumship skills. Because let me tell you how I got mediumship skills in the weirdest way. At first, I didn't even realize what was happening.
Mhm.
I used to just smell a smell. And that smell would be specific to a person who had passed. And I would not know the smell. I'd be like, why the hell is this jasmine smell happening in the middle of my kitchen when there's no damn jasmine? Like, like weird stuff. Or I would smell something like patchouli out of nowhere. Nobody's burning patchouli. My mom is like my mom's really super Christian. So
we were smelling my late mother's favorite perfume at my sister's house.
So that kind of stuff. So that had started happening to me, honestly, like 8 years ago. But I didn't want to talk to spirits because when I started talking to people and be like, listen, so-and-so said, stop doing that because you're being a jerk. Like, could you tighten up? And they wouldn't take me seriously. So I just was like, I don't want to be bothered with all of these ghosts because there's too many of them. Like, I know too many dead people. I've been to over 50 funerals in my life. I'm only 40 years old. Like, I've buried too many people to fuck with ghosts.
Yeah. And
no, thank you.
And there's a lot of living people I would like to see buried.
And that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so I was like, that's too much for me. So I left that part alone, honestly. And then I dealt more with like my angelics. So through time, I dealt more with angelics and galactics, and that was comfortable for me. In the last 2 years, I've recently added more of the spirit, like the ghosts again, because my cousin committed suicide when I was 14, right? So God rest her soul. I loved her more than anybody. And she is now my primary spirit guide, which is like awesome, right? Like, what an honor. So she keeps my ass in line because I'm retarded. Let me just, and I'm sorry to anybody in the community. I don't mean to use phrases to like make you feel uncomfortable. I'm just saying that my own ability to tighten up is sometimes not the best, right? So, so she used to have to yoke me out of the most crazy circumstances and basically keep me alive. Like in 2017, I got into a car accident, and they said if I'd been hit a little bit harder from the back and it was higher one vertebrae, I would have been a paraplegic. Like, but I'm fine. I got pain, but I'm fine. You know what I mean? I'm here bullshitting with you guys, being real flippant about it. So, but
that's not a bad thing,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, that's not a bad thing either. So,
I think life is funny. If you don't have a sense of humor, what are we really doing?
Yeah, I know that.
Thanks, gotta go, guys.
It was a pleasure, Mike. I hope you enjoyed your lunch.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was awesome. I give it I rarely give a 10, so it's just gonna do a 9.5 out of 10. And I really like your work. I'm gonna check out your work. And brother man, Chris, what's going on? And
not much, brother man. You doing all right? What'd you have for lunch?
What did I have?
Yeah. Seen you
I thought you guys saw it. Right. Eggs Blackstone. So I believe I did a couple panoramas of that. But eggs
I think
Blackstone.
came on and I was in
With
the middle of
hash
eating my steak and potatoes, so I must have
What?
missed it.
Mm.
I had a Chinese fermented duck egg that was black. It was it's
Oh man,
called
nice.
a century. It's called a century egg. It's
Yeah, I've seen them. Them
yeah,
eggs.
everything. The yolk, the shell is like a charcoal gray. The white albumin, everything's black inside, but
Pretty cool.
it's a fermented. It's salty. It has a little bit of like an ammonia smell, but it's one of their ancient delicacies. You know, it goes way back. So I used to try it. Now,
No,
Sounds
no,
good.
go on with what you're saying. I've seen
Peace.
another one where eggs, and it's a little bit more. How do I put it? Developed. I guess the best way to put it.
oh no, I'm not eating that. Philippines eat that. It's there's a duck embryo inside.
Okay, so you know where I was going with this, yeah. So there's a variation of that egg where it's embryo still in the shell, and I thought that century egg looked bad, but the one with the embryo looked even worse.
I'll
And,
pass.
yeah,
I'll skip
and
it. No,
then
thanks.
There's
That's just
feathers
called-
on it. Yeah, it's what the hell they call that? Baliut or baluki or it starts with a B, and it's an embryo with feathers, and they chew this thing, they suck it down. I'm no.
yeah, you
No.
know,
I
I
like
thought, huh?
I'm like, I like vegetables.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be so gross, but my mind kind of wanders to these places. And
No,
sometimes
no.
No, it's totally awesome. I love it because I just think about stuff because sometimes I'll eat eggs and I'll be like, ugh.
yeah.
As I'm breaking the yolk, I'm like, ugh. You know, so I get it. You know, I think it's
We're not-
funny. I'll
We're
still
not
eat it,
yoke. We're not yoking around.
We're not yoking around.
We're in ecstasy. Ecstasy. Now, the tarot cards. I'm gonna show you the deck I have that I
Okay.
got in Margarita Island, Venezuela. Okay, you have yours.
Yeah, so I pulled 4 cards for us.
Okay,
And is that the sound of rain? Hold on a second.
could be. You're in Florida.
Oh crap! It is. My crystals are on the freaking roof. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull my crystals.
Okay. Crystals are on the roof.
Yeah, because of the full moon, I had them out, and I was like, if it's gonna rain, I can't have this certain set out. And of course, it's raining, so the certain set is out. I'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. Be careful when you're going up on the roof. Where's Jordy? There he is. So I guess Mike left the establishment where he was having lunch. It's good to see him. I don't know what Eric is doing today, but anyway, last night on Mike's show, Ronnie Simpson was watching it, and Eric was saying some unkind things about Ronnie Simpson, and Ronnie heard it and told me that he listened to the whole thing. But what he was trying to say is that, there are some people that are not friendly when they drink.
Yeah.
They try to pick a fight with others, and other
Wait,
people.
Eric had a show last night?
Yeah, he did I don't know if it was pre-planned or spur of the moment, but he went live last night.
Okay.
Later on in the evening, and
Yeah.
Eric was there first. Then I hopped on because he sent me Michael sent me a link on Messenger.
Oh, Mike sent you a link yesterday.
Yeah, he sent me the link on Messenger.
I keep forgetting that I've muted myself. It's because my wee brother's in the room behind me, and he's playing on his wee piano that I got him for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's good at it, we can
I don't
listen.
know if you know him, but it's a little Christmas present I got him. So sorry if that's interfering with anything. I didn't mean that. But
What
yeah,
is it, like one of those electronic digital type.
Yeah. yeah. Basically, and it fits into his computer, and he can basically boom, boom, boom. You know.
How does it sound? That type of piano or keyboard when the one
Pretty cool, actually. You might be able to hear him, but like I didn't want it to like interfere with anything. But you might be able to hear it in the background.
I mean,
Braden, play your piano.
can it replicate? Can it replicate an old-fashioned standard piano? Or is it? Or is
It has that setting where it has its own wee melody. Where if you press a button, then it plays its own like melody thing. So yeah, it's also like an old-time piano, kinda, but it's more like synthesizers. You can change the sounds and stuff. So
I like
it's a more
I like
up-to-date thing. I would say.
I like the old player pianos that they used to have in the saloons in the Wild Wild West.
Oh, where they had the crank and the
Yeah.
what is it, spindle with the little bumps, so that
Yeah, bumps. Yeah, it's like,
the
what do they call that? What do they
Yeah.
call that? Ragtime music or jazz or they have
Yeah.
all these
Western
songs,
piano, I think.
like one
So-
song after the other. Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah. But you could find all that on YouTube. Like they have albums of just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard everyone talking about like ghosts and stuff. I'm a big believer in the paranormal. In fact, I actually just done. I want to share a wee ghost story with you.
Yeah, when she comes back, I'll say, I'll say Jordy wants to share a ghost story. There's a lot of haunted castles and places, buildings, ancient buildings in where you live, in Scotland, Ireland.
Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. That's haunted. That's a really cool place. So is that. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, Drumchapel Castle. I think. There's a lot of castles in Scotland, and I've been to quite a lot of them.
Is Edinburgh the original capital of Scotland?
Yes.
Original.
Yes. It still is. Edinburgh is still the capital of Scotland right now. But like,
Okay, it's just Glasgow is like the biggest city.
yeah, Glasgow is the biggest city, and I would say Glasgow is the most famous city as well. Like everybody knows about Glasgow more than Edinburgh, but Edinburgh is the capital. So yeah.
So they probably have Glasgow Airport, International Airport.
Yeah. My friend works at Glasgow Airport actually. One of my best friends, Kyle, works at Glasgow Airport now.
I hear Donald Trump owns a golf course in Scotland, and Scotland is trying to get it back. Or
yeah, I heard about that. Donald Trump does own a golf course somewhere about Clyde Bank, I think.
St. Andrews is the famous one, right? St. Andrews.
St. Andrews as well, yeah. Oh, James, have you ever been to Scotland? If you were ever to come to Glasgow, then I would definitely.
I go try haggis, fish and chips. Oh, you have a different outfit on, I think.
My whole outfit got destroyed. Like I'm still.
How are you doing, Kendra?
I'm back. I'm back from the torrential Florida downpour. How are you?
You climbed the ladder. You climbed the ladder in a torrential downpour, and your crystals are all safe.
They are all safe, and they are inside now. And my daughter did grab the one set of crystals that I didn't need to get wet before the rest of them got wet. So I was like, dude. I was like, what about the rest? She's like, ah. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Jordy wants to share a ghost story experience he had in Scotland.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
There's a lot of magic out there. Tell me about it.
Well, it's basically my house right now where I live in. My granddad passed away in 2017, and he was like the most awesome person you would ever meet. And like a few months ago, I've got a few stories actually to tell you. A few months ago, I was walking down the stairs and I heard a wee whisper in my ear. It was like, "Hey, Geordie, Geordie." And I walked down the stairs and I was like, "That's so weird." And then the next minute, my mum told me that, "Oh, this was the day that your granddad died, like a few years ago." And and then I went, "Oh my God." I thought I was tripping, but I heard someone whisper in my ear, "Hi, Geordie." And then the next minute, we couldn't find my mum's phone. My mum's phone went missing in the house somewhere. And I phoned it. And so somehow it answered itself. Somehow it actually answered itself. I went, "Ho, ho, ho," and there was no one there. And then the thing just hung up itself. And then she found out it was out on the couch in the living room, just sitting itself. So like, how did that happen? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happened. I'm when people ask me, am I religious? I say not really. I would say I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. I believe in
I'm spiritual. I'm not religious.
Yeah.
So what happened to you is called clairaudience. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's called clairaudience, and so it's one of my main modalities of dealing with spirit, and it's literally them speaking to you or playing songs to you that are relevant to something that's happening to you in your life when you're stressed out. Have you ever had that happen to you where like you'll be real sad about something and then the perfect song will come on the radio, or you'll walk into the gas station and this one song will be there and you're like, oh, and it'll be just the thing you need to like lift your mood?
Yes. Like, I'll give you the perfect
that's
example.
their audience.
Wait, it can't even. Sometimes it can be a song, but it could also be people as well. Like I remember one time I was extremely down, and I was walking to the town centre, and I randomly, for some reason, just randomly bumped into my old school friend who I've not seen in a while, and who I had good times with, you know. So I randomly bumped into him. His name was Jamie, and he was like, "How are you doing?" and stuff like that, you know. So that was weird. I remember I was really down this day, and I bumped into my friend Jamie, my old school buddy, and it just lifted me up. It just made me happy, you know. So yeah, definitely, I get what you mean, and it can come in forms of songs as well. Like maybe
songs or people or something, just wherever you are. Sometimes it'll be a whisper that'll tell you not to go someplace.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, I'm gonna go out tonight. And then something's gonna happen when you're out, but because you heard something like, and you may not hear it audibly, you might just get like a feeling like, maybe I shouldn't, and you actually listen to it. If you listen to it, usually you save yourself from some bullshit, to be honest.
Like if I was to go out one night and then I heard a wee whisper saying, "Oh, don't go out tonight," then something bad could have happened one of those nights, and then I would be glad I didn't go out that night. So yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Well, so there was a club shooting here in Orlando. So I used to live in Orlando. You guys heard of the Pulse nightclub shooting?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pulse nightclub was a shooting that they were targeting LGBTQ members, and there was almost 50 people died. I think 50 people died. A minimum of 50 people died. It was a major event. Happened in 2000. Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Anyway, so what happened? I was an Uber driver at the time, and that was my circuit. I used to drive from 10 o'clock at night till about 4 in the morning on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Okay, and I would drive from where my parents lived in Kissimmee to Orlando, and I would cover like 5 counties. I would just ride all night, bumping techno music really loud.
Yeah, damn right.
Picking up people who are coming out of clubs, working all night. I used to drive, like being a girl, I wanted to be a girl driver for other girls who worked in industries and came out of work at like 3 in the morning. I have to get into a car with a guy at that time of night. Okay. So I drove those hours, and when it came to Pulse, that night, I got into an argument with my boyfriend at the time. And he was like, if you leave right now, we're done forever. Right? Like one of those weird ultimatums that under normal circumstances, I would have been like, fuck you. right?
Yeah.
But that night, for some reason, I just was all like, all right, babe. All right, I see you. All right, babe. So I laid down with him, and that was it. That was the night of the shooting.
Oh
And it
shit!
was my route. Nope. It was the night of the shooting. That was my route. I would have been driving through that bullshit.
You know, it's a good way to pick up a lot of rides as an Uber driver late at night is to park near the gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
And the
I used
girls,
to pick up all the girls.
would get-
Look, trust me, I had this down.
and as
I had
the girls
over
get off,
500 rides. Like, I was an Uber driver for about good 3 years. Like, I got out when my intuition told me they're about to start screwing drivers, and they did. And they started nickeling and diming drivers, and I left literally like 2 months prior to them doing that, and then they started screwing the drivers over. So just to show you that, like, listening to your intuition spares you from stuff, you know. And that's what got me on my path. That's what got me all the way to being able to talk about these things, so I can like educate people on it. Because if they don't know that they have a gift or a skill, then they don't understand why they're medicating with XYZ, food, sex, porn, whatever it is. Like, whenever you have some sort of an addiction, it's because there's something that you're not able to self-regulate. It's a trauma that you're trying to treat with whatever you're addicted to. I believe that addictions, the root of all addictions, are traumas. Something fucked up happened to you either in this life or the last life, and you're dealing with it now. And so you might have all of these tendencies, and it's cool. Like, you just have to work on yourself, and that's what I really help people do. I help people work on them.
yeah, you know,
I believe in afterlife as well.
what happens? It's been happening to me is I'll think of a word, and the TV's on. I'll think of a word. I'll say a word, and the person on television says the exact word immediately after I say
Yep.
or think of it.
Yeah, those are the synchronicities that come from being tapped into the collective mind, right? Because at this point in time, more people are tapped into the collective mind. More people are meditating. More people are aware of this stuff. More people are, if they don't know the name of it, they can at least recognize that it's happened to them. Like what just happened with Jordy. He didn't know it was called clairaudience, but
Yeah.
it happened to him, right? So who cares if you don't know the name? The shit happened. Like, it happened. So my job basically is to bring awareness to these things. Hey, yeah, that does happen. And yeah, there's things that you can do to make it less stressful if it becomes stressful for you. Or if you want to learn how to tap into it more, Red Stripe. That was like a commercial story.
Red Stripe? Is that the Jamaican beer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jamaican lager beer.
Yeah, Red Stripe's a good beer. And so, you know, like if you want to learn how to tap more into that type of thing, that's what I do. Like, I help people get in touch with their gifts and figure out how to categorize them, because I believe that the more self-awareness that you have, the better you can cope with your bullshit. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Now, supposedly the bewitching hour is 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the demonic activity is at its peak.
Is that? I wouldn't say demonic activity. That demonic activity makes everything at 3 to 4 be freaking scary. Fuck that. I'm not gonna go that far. There, from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. is roughly 3 hours, known as the witching hour. And the witching hour is even still crap. Throw that shit out. This is a time span when the veil is very thin because the majority of people are asleep, which means everybody's out in the ethers wandering around, available to suggestion. Now, why has it always been tied to demons? Because Christianity's been running amok for like 3,000 years. And so while they're running amok, all of these constructs related to hell are in play. Okay, so I like to tell people anything that a human imagination has made up, there is like a multiverse version of that shit available to you to tap into so that you can get messed up with.
Well,
okay, so if you deeply believe in demons, then demons are real for you. And guess what? You're available to get fucked up by them.
Well, their concept of hell is like Dante's Inferno.
Right. Well, that depends on your concept. Right.
Yeah.
Are you Catholic? Well, if you're Catholic, then that's more than likely your concept of hell. If you're like me, a spiritualist, I believe that we're sitting in hell right now. The way people talk to each other, the way they act with each other, that's hell. What's wrong with you?
Like all the wars and stuff that's going on. All
Yeah, the stuff that's going on the internet, the way that people are like trying to control your thoughts and pushing their beliefs on you and all this other crap. Like you can't just live and breathe and enjoy.
In Catholicism, they picture someone on a rotisserie being turned around on the charcoal, getting poked with pitchforks and all.
Listen, what do you think going to a job you hate is?
It's being on a rotisserie.
true.
It's the same damn thing. Like, what you think that is? Like, every day that you sit in a cubicle, does your soul not die a little more? Because I know.
Or what about
working just a little bit each day, just a little bit.
Day. Like, yo, your soul dies a little more each day, and then you know what happens? You get sick. You start to get high blood pressure. You start to get stress and anxiety. You start having depression, and they tell you you're broken. No, you're not broken. You're having a realistic response to a fucked up society. Like, no, this is not the problem. The problem is not you. The problem is society. You're actually reflecting the problem appropriately. Now, the people who are thriving, like, bitch, what did you do? Like,
if you're working for an abusive employer, a supervisor who puts people down and is never satisfied, is always complaining about employees, everything's your fault, and they don't do shit on the job. They just delegate everything. Now that causes a high amount of stress.
But even still, like, if you're just not working in your purpose, you're going to be in stress, because if that's not your purpose, then you're not doing what you were brought here to do. Like, it really stabilizes your emotional, like any of your emotional issues, when you know what your purpose is. To be a purposeless individual means that you're just kind of doing this and anything goes. So then you're just manifesting by default. Okay, so when I say manifest, what you're bringing into your life, you're on a default setting. So guys, you know what default means? Bullshit. Right?
Yeah,
bullshit. Like you never want to have a default setting. You want to be customized. Yeah. You're an individual, you're unique. So you need to customize your life to
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah. Now the subject of the possibility that today or that many portals have been opened by people that do not know how to close them. And there's a lot of negative forces being able to come into our realm because people or it could be young people dabbling in black magic. It could be people that treat the Ouija board as a game.
So a
toy, and people are not closing the portals.
They don't even know what they're doing. They're just doing shit.
Like Crowley. What is it? Aleister Crowley? I heard.
No, Aleister Crowley knew what he was doing. There are people who want to be Aleister Crowley who don't know what they're doing, and they're making a mess of things.
They're making a mess of things.
They're making a mess of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you say Aleister Crowley. Now,
he knew what he was doing. There's
Now here's my thing. Okay, I don't mean to interrupt. Sorry, but
go
first
ahead.
I'm hearing them two words put together at one sentence, and the point I'm getting at is I don't know if you've ever watched the show. I used to watch that show, Supernatural, and they dealt with a lot of that, monsters and sorcery and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like as the name suggests, supernatural type of show where you get like these skinwalkers, your ghosts, your werewolves, your vampires. And then later on, they started getting into heaven and hell.
Yeah, I watched that show.
Okay. They had two characters. One was Aleister, and the other one was Crowley. And I was aware of the name, but like the way you were talking about. But I didn't realize that the two words were put together and they were one person. So I mean,
let me help you out with that then, because this is really about to blow your mind, because I love Supernatural, right? So Aleister Crowley is one of the foremost authorities on the occult and mysticism. He wrote, he created, with the help of a really talented artist, the Thoth Tarot Deck. See his name? Aleister Crowley. Okay.
Oh,
And so the reason that they had him split on supernatural is because Aleister Crowley conjures up a lot of backlash from people who don't want you to know the truth. The occult simply means the unseen, the unveiled. Okay, it's
okay.
covered from your sight is what occult means. Occult is occipital, eye. Okay, so they had it split up on Aleister Crowley because first off, it makes it fun for TV, but then they can teach you a lot of stuff about him without it being, you know, hashtag problematic. When not all of that was true, but a lot of it is his purview. He was the guy who wrote like this Thoth Tarot deck. If you go and actually, let me see if some of the actual background on it. There we go. Here it is. Let me read this to you real quick, guys, if you'll allow me. The Thoth Tarot deck was designed by Aleister Crowley and painted by Lady Frida Harris. Their original intent was to correct and update the classic medieval tarot, giving it a more esoteric aspect. This project, however, grew into a restructuring of the traditional pictorial symbolism of the ancient wisdom and was extended for 5 years between the years of 1938 and 1943. Aleister Crowley is often described as the most advanced and influential occultist of the 20th century. His life's work was an attempt to synthesize the diverse teachings of the world's religions by extracting the essential kernel of truth and shared by them and developing a system of attaining God realization, which he called scientific illuminism. So if you just take that forward to what we're doing now, he's basically the forefather of the spiritual awakening because he was seeking to become one with your God consciousness, which is all the awakening is. The awakening process is related to becoming in tune and in alignment with your divine source being self or your God self or whatever, your higher being, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you about that. And you want to integrate that. You are a divine being having a human experience, and you want both of those things to be talking to themselves so that you can be effective in this reality. So that's what he was trying to teach people. But of course, that's against religion because they're going to be like, no, the Muslims have it wrong. The Jews have it wrong. The Christians are right. And the Muslims are wrong. And, you know, everybody's pointing fingers when in reality, I believe in omniism. It's the same fucking story, bro. You just got different chapters.
Yeah.
No religion should ever affect laws like they do, like they do when Republicans are in office, because no religion has been able to prove that their God exists.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, who cares whether your God exists? We're supposed to just believe in only one of your version. Everybody got their own version. Like, there's a million different ways to get to God. Who are you to tell me that your version is the way that I need to get there? I will humbly tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's like, you know, talking about religion. Okay, I totally agree with you. It's like, okay, is this one religion the right religion? Who knows? How about this one over here? Same thing. Who knows? As far as I know, they could all be wrong. The right religion's out there on some other planet that we're not even aware of. But then again, that could be wrong too. But yeah, so
can't we just be kind to people? Like, can't you just be nice? Like, can't you just try to uplift your fellow human? Can't you just not be a jerk about things? Can you just maybe feed someone who's hungry? Can we do these basic, simple things? Everybody wants to pretend that they use the golden rule, but they really don't. Like,
yeah.
I mean, for all we know, we could be one huge extraterrestrial experiment.
I kind of believe we are, to be honest. I mean, what else would God do in their spare time when they're bored? I'd make a bunch of little me's running around to see what the hell we would do. Yeah. So this is it. This is it. We're all a divine expression.
A fiery UFO in the sky is by an ancient primitive civilization could be seen as a god or an angel.
Correct. Like we are not advanced enough in our technology to not call an alien god still. Honestly, like we're not that advanced. We have some means of advancement. There's a lot of things that are happening in the metaphysical world and in quantum physics. Quantum physics is really explaining the science behind the magic, which is fantastic, right? And then everybody on the planet, every single human being has intuition that they can use. Every single human being, it's like a muscle. So if you're not flexing your intuitive muscle, then it's not going to work. Like, you want to learn how to flex your intuitive muscle? Come work with me. Like,
what about these evangelicals who actually think the world is only 6,000 years old?
I mean, sure, they can think that if they want to.
They
can also, you can also go with those flat Earth people too and have fun there too. Like, who cares?
Yeah, or Marshall Applewhite's Heaven's Gate.
Anything. Listen, whatever you want to believe is go for it. Go for it. But is it helping you walk in your purpose? Because if it's not, then I don't know what the fuck you're actually doing. Like, that's my whole, like, I'm not as you can tell, I don't sugarcoat shit. Like, I'm a very down to earth, practical person. My podcast is called Gaiasaurus. It's the practical application of spirituality. Like,
wait, what's your podcast called so I can subscribe to it?
It's called Gaiasaurus. Okay.
You
can. It's GAIA.
GAIA.
And then Soars. SOARS.
SO.
Yeah, you can find me on Apple Podcasts. You can find me on Spotify, and you can find me on.
Oh yeah, I got it.
There you go. I did that artwork for that. What do you think?
I mean, look at these. Now they're saying the Sphinx is over 10,000 years old, which is possible.
This is not the first great civilization that we've had on this planet, and people who know about past lives will tell you that. Like, we've been through many more major civilizations, and then we did some old BS and got to a point where we started doing things that didn't work out, and then there was a whole collapse of society again, and so now we're starting again. This time, hopefully, we gonna get it right, but it takes time.
But look at these ancient structures that are many thousands of years, 10,000 years or more old, where each block weighs many tons and they're all stacked perfectly, where you can't even get a razor blade in between them. There's no way an ancient primitive civilization can construct that without help. That, to me, that's proof right there that we've been visited for tens of thousands of years or more by extra.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like
pyramids in Egypt, and then you got the Aztec pyramids in Mexico.
Pyramids are all over the world. Sure.
Yeah,
there's pyramids all over the world, and you know those pyramids. So Thoth. Okay, so Aleister Crowley made this deck. Thoth was supposed to be an alien, basically, who came into Egypt and gave everybody divine knowledge. Okay, that's how we got, and that's where we got the Thoth deck from. Aleister Crowley channeled it. Lady Frida Harris painted it, and then they added in all of this intense mysticism and symbology. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I never bothered to learn all of the intense mysticism. I sure as fuck didn't. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's fascinating.
Because I'm extremely intuitive. But I have this deck, and this is the third time that I've purchased this deck in my life. Let me tell you this story. This is insane. I've literally had to throw this deck away twice due to religious persecution. And and I didn't even notice it. This card I pulled out is the Priestess, because I'm the Priestess. My deck cracks me up.
Yeah, these religious zealots are always telling you, like this zealot that I know says, better be careful with that pyramid collection, those crystals. You're gonna.
I'm like, if it came out of the earth, what are we talking about? Like, why do you want to just sow fear and BS? I don't understand that. These are just means for you to understand yourself.
Well, yeah, my brother-in-law and this other guy, they have one thing in common. They're both Republicans, and they both think everything is the devil. everything. The crystals are the devil. Your pyramids are the devil. Blah,
Listen,
blah, blah,
my
blah.
mom used to be like that.
You better throw it away. You better throw the tarot cards away.
Right. And so that's what happened to me. I had to throw away my last 2 Thoth Deck cards, and then I got them again. So let me tell you a funny story. These cards have their own personality. Every tarot deck that I have, every oracle deck that I have, it has its own personality. Okay, they're very like, and because I'm an intuitive channel, and I don't really have a good filter for reality. I'm just gonna be real. I'm mostly in the spirit realm. Half then I try to be a human. I try. I suck at it sometimes. Like I try. Okay, so this deck in particular, I have 2 words: cheeky bastard. Okay, the deck, that's the personality. This is a cheeky bastard. Yeah, cheeky bastard. Okay, so whenever I pull these cards out, the first thing they want to do is tell me about myself so that I know that they were listening. And I'm just like, if you don't stop your right, you cheeky bastard, sit your ass down. Like, it's one of those things. So these cards are very intuitive, and but the symbolism on them is just out of this world, guys.
Oh wow, look at that. I like the colors.
Yeah, look at these cards. These cards, and they went so deep. Every angle, the colors, the numbers, the pictures. They even have there's Judaic symbols at the bottom, and all of these things are layered into the card deck itself because Aleister Crowley was mysticism and symbology. He was like a guru. It was actually not like a guru. He was the forefront most for the 20th century, like I said when I read it. So look at this picture of the star. I love this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The artwork in this deck is just gorgeous.
So let me show you my deck. I got the
beautiful.
I got the ancient tarot deck of Marseille.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Well, that's
nice.
A nice one.
I like that one.
El Diablo, yeah, with the boobs, always.
The one with
the
look at that. Yeah, women are always demons, so of course.
Gynomastia, whatever you call it, gynecomastia. Is the Fool. Yeah, so they're colorful. I like unique decks. Now yours is also historic because it's connected to
yeah, and it's just one of the. It's actually it's not really a starter deck, but it's kind of a starter deck for people because if you really want to learn about tarot and all of the significance and the meanings behind it and the way that it's set up, a lot of people start with that deck, but a lot of people are also afraid to start with that deck. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, it's like I've been indoctrinated into the Thoth mysteries like twice now. The Emerald Tablets, I've gone through it a couple of times. My spirit guides took me through it. So Thoth and I have a thing. So and also my ancestral lineage, my bloodline goes back that route. So I just
divining rods. These right-wing zealot religious fanatics, do they have a problem minding their own damn business? Yeah.
James, what is that you've got there?
Those are divining rods. Tell them about them.
They're copper divining rods. It's like dowsing. Yeah. Do you like Jordy? Is he a great guy?
Oh, I hope so.
Yes. See, now if it goes away from each other, it means no. If I try haggis in Scotland, would I like haggis? Would I like it?
Yeah, I think you would like it.
Yeah.
Or you would like haggis, yeah.
Right. Was BC's Black Angus steak tender and tasty?
That's awesome, James. I want them. What are they called again?
Divining rods. Copper.
Divining rods.
I don't know. I wonder if the divining rods would work with me. I am sucky with pendulums. I am sucky with them. Like I won't even try because whenever I have a pendulum, they just swing. They don't swing in any direction. They just continue to swirl. Like, oh, really? I'm just like, what the heck? My energy is very odd, so I just don't even worry about it.
They came like this, but I'm the one that cut the straws because there's there's friction with the hand. So I wanted it to be free flowing so people don't think I'm moving it. Now I cut the straws. Now
That's smart.
This guy I know ordered from Amazon Prime these copper divining rods that are several times, at least a few times longer than this, and they have copper pipes over here. So instead of the straw, it would be like a copper metallic pipe, and they're long. But the problem is they're so long you can't get it all in a webcam video. But they're like really long. Let's see.
Oh yeah, so that makes it hard for you to like angle it so you can see it.
Yeah, like you could do it with people not in front of a camera. I mean, not in front of a webcam. Of course, you can use a regular camera, but that's why I didn't say, oh damn it, his rods are bigger than mine. I gotta go order. I gotta go order bigger ones than his. I mean, that's why I just said, oh, beautiful. I like them. And I stick with these because you could see them in front of a webcam. But they're impressive. The only thing is they don't have the rubber on the end.
What does it mean when they cross? Because I don't know. I don't understand how to, like, I can figure out the pendulum swings, but I can't figure out the divining.
When they cross towards each other like that, it's yes. When they come away from each other like that, it's no. Belgian white, blue moon. That's a wheat ale, right?
Yeah, wheat beer.
Will the booster shots be effective with the Omicron and other variants? Yes. Do you agree that there are many portals that were mistakenly or carelessly opened that have not been closed? Yes. Do you think the new Trumpy Bear commercial for Donald Trump, the Trumpy Bear, do you think it's stupid and ridiculous? Yes. Yeah, you see, there's a lot of the thing with with coronavirus is it's always the same states in the same region that don't want to follow any mandates. They refuse. They want, people, businesses, employers, people in general to be able to decide whether or not they want to get the vaccine, and they're not encouraging social distancing, and they're, a lot of these people are rednecks that I think are still fighting the Civil War, to be honest with you.
A lot of people here in the UK disagree with getting the vaccine. Me personally, I've got the vaccine. I've got it twice, but I need to get my booster jack thing. There's a thing going about called a booster jack. I don't know if that's a big thing where you live, but it's called a booster jack. It's like I've had the 2 vaccine jacks and I've agreed to do it, but I've not got my booster jack yet.
I don't care what you do. I think if you need to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you don't want to get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. It's totally up to you. It's a personalized decision. I don't understand why we have to have these conversations in the street. It's a doctor conversation, not a social conversation. This is like, mind your business.
True. Yeah.
Mind your business. Like, because you know why you want to take it, and that's up to you. You need to do your informed consent. You need to talk to your doctor. You need to figure out how it's going to make you feel. If you want to feel more confident or less confident, or if you need to travel, that's up to you.
I also respect people. If people don't want to, if people don't want to take the vaccine, then that's their choice, and I respect that as well.
Right, and then they have to deal with the consequences. That's how that works. Like, it's not on me to tell you how to do that. Like, Now, me personally, I'm not vaccinated because I have
Me too.
sensitivities to vaccines. So
All
I
right.
don't take a lot of vaccines. I don't take medicine.
I had somebody mock me out at a crossing light because I had a mask on last year. I said, mind your own damn business. You know?
Right, mind your business.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't care what you think I should do. That's not. Are you paying my bills? No.
Definitely, James. James, you should have told me fuck off. You should have said.
Yeah, literally. That's how I live my life. I'm like, hey, I'm not bothering anybody. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to keep my family safe.
Exactly.
Right. So I wear a mask when I'm out in public. I wear a mask when I'm in the grocery store because that's the place where I'm going to most likely pick it up. I have family members that are immune compromised, and my immune system, although it's really good now, I should be cautious because I've had asthma in the past and I have fibromyalgia and I have other injuries that, so I should be cautious. That's it. Like, period.
Asthma's scary, man. You can't breathe.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm good with my asthma now. Like, I can actually go jogging every once in a while. So I'm good. Right. But still, my daughter's family, they have cancer and stuff like that. So for them, we are mindful. But us, we're sensitive. I can't do that. I can't take these drugs because I don't know what's going to happen to my already sensitive body when I introduce this foreign drug. And my body doesn't react well to foreign drugs. That's it. I've already done this with a lot of medications. After years of being on antidepressants and crap like that, I know how my body reacts to these things. That's my personal choice.
I walked into an Indian restaurant. They used to have a buffet before the pandemic, a lunch buffet. And I sit down at my table, and this woman, she's far away from me, and she goes, "Excuse me, where's your mask?" I go, "I'm going to eat. I ordered something to drink. I ordered a mango lassi. I'm going to eat. How the hell am I going to drink something or eat this food with my mask?" I says, "You're 1,000 miles away from me. Don't worry about it." So
people are so entitled right now. Like, they think they can just tell you how to live your life, or like someone else's opinion should be your emergency. Like, bro, sit down, mind your business, handle your life, leave me alone.
There's been friends that have unfriended each other on social media because of politics, because of the pandemic, differences of opinion. I mean, people don't know how to mind their own damn business.
The
mafia got crushed by the FBI.
So I saw that.
And honestly, people don't realize that's part of the spiritual awakening also. When you stop being friends with people because they're no longer in alignment with what your views are.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
And people freak out about that because they think that people are supposed to stay with them forever. And that's not the case. Life for a time, a season, and a reason. That's it. Sometimes they're here for a little bit. Sometimes they're here for a long time. You don't actually get to decide that. And as you start working on yourself, you're not going to stay with the same people as before.
Yeah, well, look at, it's sad, but look at people that have been married for like 25 years and they just change, they grow apart.
Well, I mean, it's inevitable that you're going to change over 25 years. Like, if you're not changing over 25 years, that's actually the sad part.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing behind it is have a civil ceremony. People should, if somebody's going to have a ceremony where they're going to take vows, you just have a civil ceremony.
But I mean, I don't think that's not the crux
of
the issue.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the crux of the issue. It's not about
the ceremony. Awesome.
It's about what you do every day after that. The ceremony is really a speck in the length of your marriage. It's how you treat each other every day that is going to determine whether or not 25 years from now you're still together and happy. If you are treating each other like shit, well, guess what? Someone's going to get fed up eventually. Like, the hell? You know, like, come on, like that's the real thing. People are like, oh, I got married. Okay, great. Now you get to do the hard work, staying together.
If you have one person who is giving and working at it and the other person is doing nothing,
Then it's not going to work.
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. That's how that works.
I was going to mention about
James,
I'll
can I
be
show
right
you that
back.
wee kind of beer? I've got it here.
what do you got? Hold
This
on.
was a beer that my granddad used to drink a long time ago.
Sweetheart Stout.
No, that's the Joker.
Yeah.
Is that the Joker from Batman?
It was like you did it. It's
Yeah.
like she
Cesar
was an
Romero.
actress. She was an actress from the 70s. A 70s British actress.
Oh,
She was in a lot of different films and stuff. That's her rare. I can't remember her name. I think it was Melissa or something. But there you go. And this is 2% stuff. My granddad used to drink this a lot. I was just wondering, James, if you've ever had this.
no, I never seen it before.
You've never seen it before?
No, I never seen it
Yeah,
before.
neither
Never
have I.
heard of it.
How could I send you some? Can I send you some? I want to send you some beers.
Well, it's far. See how much DHL charges for a shipment.
I don't know how to send beer overseas. I've tried it before, but it didn't work. I tried to send some to Ronald, and how do I send beers?
I don't know.
No, what you do is get a box, put like, I don't know, some peanut cushion things, packaging. Yeah,
James.
Yeah.
I will send you one of these. A Tennant Super, a Tennant's Lager, and an Innocent Gun. Have you ever had Innocent Gun before?
No.
Original Lager.
Nope.
Oh, Innocent Gun. Innocent Gun is so good.
Innocent Gun.
I will send you that stuff. Innocent Gun. INNIS and Gun. GUNN. Innocent Gun. It's really good stuff. Original Lager. It's on a red label. I will send you that stuff if I can. I don't know how the hell you send stuff on this though. But James, I want to send you some beers to review.
It would have to be cushioned, so it doesn't jiggle around too much.
Oh yeah, package it with cushion so that none of the glass gets damaged. Yeah, I want to send you this one. I don't know. Maybe if you look up Sweetheart Stout, you might be able to find out the actress's name.
So don't look up the Joker. Just look up Sweetheart Stout.
Yeah, I will try and find the actress's name. It's a famous actress from the 60s, but I can't remember her name. I'll be right back.
It's not Cesar Romero.
Yeah, I was thinking Cesar Romero too.
Maybe. I don't know.
No. Batman.
You know, they were auctioning off the Bat Cycle recently.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. They said that the Batmobile was very uncomfortable to drive.
Probably no suspension in it. And they got all that hardware on there too. Yeah.
And Robin and Burt Ward, Robin got hurt riding in the Batmobile in the passenger side. One of the-
Did you hear about this? About
the woman on the can is called Venetia Stevenson. She was an actress and model.
Oh, wow.
Born in London, March 1938. In 1965, she became the face of young girls. So, this was when she was 50. So, she was 50 years old in this picture. This is the information I found on her.
Sweetheart Stout from Where's it made in Scotland or
Yeah, it's made in Scotland by Tennant's Brewery. Actually, they want more information on the actor.
All right, I'm back.
is there a beer called the Happy Haggis?
The happy egg.
That's awesome.
Oh, I have a question for the divining
I
rod.
would try that. I would love that.
Okay, hold on. The divining rods. Hold on.
Yeah, can you ask the divining rods if there are fairies near Geordie?
Yeah, there is.
Are there? You mean like in his vicinity or in his country?
Like,
In his
both.
home or in his vicinity? Because I think that there's fae folk who live by him.
Yeah,
Are there fairies near Geordie in his immediate area?
yes, there is. And right next to Glasgow Clyde River. Glasgow Clyde River.
Do you see any mushrooms in a circle, Geordie? Like a fairy ring? Mushrooms, toadstools.
He's seeing different type of mushrooms.
I've never had mushroom.
They're magical, ain't they?
You know that regrows lost brain cells. That psychedelic mushroom. No, I'm serious.
Every drug causes you to lose brain cells. Like
no, I mean the mushrooms grow them, regrow.
oh, they regrow your brain cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Who's that?
No, he showed me this stout he wants to send me from Scotland called Sweetheart, and I thought it was the Joker from. I thought it was the Joker from.
I think she was a Scottish actress. I think she was a Scottish actress.
Yeah, show her the face. It looks like the Joker.
Yeah, it does. It looks like the Joker. She's got a Joker grin.
Joker everything.
She looks like Doris Day and the Joker had a baby.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Little Joker Day. Oh, have you ever tried Kimra, scrying like Nostradamus did, like staring into a bowl of water with like a dark bowl?
I'm gonna be real. My ADD is not gonna allow me to sit and stare at a pool of water like that. Now I do watch. I watch water and I watch flame, but like, here's the thing: you use scrying tools if you need to scry.
Oh.
Ask my spirit guides. I'm super lazy.
And that's
I just ask them. I'm like, hey, what is this?
Roy Orbison sang that song, Scrying.
Roy Orbison. My granddad used to love that song as well.
Anyway,
scrying is cool, but I don't have the patience. I'm gonna be real.
That's the same as crystal gazing, right? That's just a different form of scrying.
What is?
Crystal gazing. Crystal ball gazing.
Oh, I want a crystal ball. I think I could probably see stuff in a crystal ball.
Well,
I want one, but they're relatively expensive. Like
if you get a real quartz crystal ball that's big enough for you to see things in, it's expensive. Another thing that's cheaper than the quartz crystal ball, and it's known for scrying,
mirrors.
Is the water, the mirrors. What do you call obsidian? The volcanic glass, black obsidian. They have black obsidian.
They have black obsidian mirrors.
Mirrors, right?
And those came from Egypt back in the day. They were the original like obsidian scryers. Honestly,
did you know that the Mayans used black obsidian to make weapons, spearheads, tools?
Yeah. Black obsidian is a very protective sort of crystal.
Like a grounding stone. Black obsidian and pink, black tourmaline is protective. And it's good to, when you store them, it's good to have them next to selenite. But you can't get selenite wet. It's because it's an ancient salt. So
here's the thing. People always say this to me, and I got to say something. selenite, you can get your selenite wet. You're just not supposed to keep it wet. It's not supposed to sit in water. People are like, it's not going to dissolve immediately. It's not a fast dissolving salt.
It's not an Alka-Seltzer tablet.
It's not an Alka-Seltzer tablet. It's not going to fizz up immediately. You can wet it, but if you aren't cautious, then you'll get chips like this, and
So
it'll break apart.
If it gets, just dry it off.
Just dry it off, because here's the thing: water is cleansing. So oftentimes, if you need to recharge a crystal, you just pass it in water, and it'll recharge it. But dry it off. Like, take care of your crap. What's wrong with you?
Or like you did with the moon, the full moon.
Yeah, so I put it so now my daughter, one of the reasons honestly that my daughter didn't rush to get the crystals out of the rain is because I work with the elements. And so because I work with elementals, I often leave my crystals back where in my old place where I used to live. I would leave my crystals to the elements for 2 weeks. Like rain, shine, whatever, and I would let them charge that way. So I don't normally rush to get my crystals out of the rain. I had specific crystals that weren't supposed to be in the rain that I had to rush and get out, but it's not my selenite. Like, I don't care about that.
All right.
My selenite, I'll take a bath with my selenite. But once I get out of the bath, I have to make sure that it dries all the way and that I don't drop it. Because if I drop it after it's been in water, then it's going to break. So you just have to understand the properties of the crystal itself.
Well, that selenite can go under your pillow when you're sleeping.
Yeah, well, these are the selenite bars that I keep on my windowsills. So every window in my home has a selenite bar like this.
Oh, wow.
And one of them may have a Himalayan pink crystal, like a big chunk of Himalayan pink salt, because I ran out of selenite bars for the windows. But my house is gridded like that. So we have at all the windows, they're protected with crystals. And then I have energetic boundaries that are up, that run from my front door to my car and from my back door to a tree that we have that's tethered, that's about 90 years old.
Right.
A huge oak tree. So I have different energetic boundaries and protections in place in my home.
Yeah, I have a few good books on feng shui. I think that's fascinating too. It deals
So fascinating.
with direction, the compass and placement according to.
Yeah, I just started learning about feng shui. I love it. It's super helpful. I'm gonna probably get certified in it later on, but I have like 2 more certifications of some other stuff that I'm working on, so I'm gonna do those first.
Like moving water draws positive chi for money, for prosperity into the home. Moving water, either a fountain or an aquarium on the side of your entrance to your home.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like if you have dragons, if you have little statues of dragons, they should be in the facing east.
Yeah.
In the southeast.
Well, it depends on how your house is set up. So, you have to take a compass and you have to figure out the directions in your home. And then you have to figure out which area is your area of prosperity and luck. So, it's very specific to you and your numbers and how your house is set up and where there are things that you can do to overcome portions of your feng shui. Yeah, exactly. There's ways that you can overcome stuff in your home. Like I have my staircase opens onto a bathroom with a window. So that's like a feng shui no-no. So I have to keep my bathroom door closed, and I have to get a set of wind chimes to put in the hallway in between the door and the staircase to break up the bad chi that comes from that. So,
because chi cannot be wide open coming into your home with nothing to block it. There's no wall. It can't do that, and you're not supposed to have.
It's going to mess up your prosperity and your abundance, all of that. So I've been working. I need to get some. You just reminded me. I have to get these wind chimes.
I found a really good ghost hunting app. This one's pretty good. Let me see.
I don't hunt ghosts. They come and bother me. I'm good.
I've got my house, but they're friendly.
Yes. What do you think of this show?
Progressive discussion show is fucking awesome.
So Kimra doesn't sugarcoat anything. She just dry rubs it with hot, spicy seasoning.
Is that what was happening?
Cajun seasoning. No.
A dry rub? Really? No lubrication? Not even like a little bit of oil? Come on, guys. Give me a break.
Yeah, almond oil.
Cameron says
Macadamia oil.
I thought I at least kind of like, massaged it up a little bit.
Coconut oil.
You just ripped it.
I had coconut oil on me one time that the person walked on my back. But you don't if somebody's walking on your back, I mean they don't like use you as a trampoline or a tap dance, or it's supposed to be slow steps shifting your body weight, and then you're supposed to dig your
and
big
usually
toe.
they're under 100 pounds too. Someone walking on your back.
Well, yeah. Well, I have I have a thick back, and I could take heavier weight within reason, though.
I mean, within reason.
Not a sumo wrestler walking on my back.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
I'm
unhealthy.
not gonna be walking on your back anytime soon, there, James.
What?
I'm not gonna be walking on your back anytime soon,
No,
there, James.
Me neither, James. Boy, if I walk on your back, you may not survive, my friend. It's not gonna happen.
If you go slow, it should be all right.
Nah, I'm good.
I'll give you a front elbow. You gotta kick it
Pretty
back.
sure I outweigh you by a lot. That's not a good idea.
You're gonna give me an elbow smash like I'm wrestling?
those high heels.
DDT.
Where's thing? Yeah, exactly. Now, if this wasn't a serious show.
Oh, wait, we're not serious yet?
Is this a serious
No, we've
show?
been joking this whole time.
If it was a serious show, then I would
I'm
wear
trust
this.
me here. You're definitely. This is definitely not a serious show if I'm here. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how is it serious? I already did one outfit change. Like,
No,
well,
because
I mean, it is serious. Like, I talk about serious things, but I like to talk about serious things with laughs.
it's
Because
intense. You changed clothes because it was intense. The intensity of the show.
the intensity of the show was like a whirlwind, and I had to do an outfit change. Like,
I was going to
This
mention
is an awesome show. This is the most awesome stream on YouTube.
now.
Merry
well,
Christmas to
I
James
tried-
and BT and Kimra.
I love that you can say my name. Thank you.
What? No, but it's easy.
Welcome.
People screw up my name all the time, so I'm just happy when someone just says it right off the bat without a hesitation. I'm like, oh, thank God you can like.
Kimra.
Did anybody ever make a mistake and call you kimchi, like the Korean cabbage?
No, because here's the thing. Back in the day, kimchi wasn't even popular. Like, I'm from the 80s, y'all. Like, I'm old. I don't look old, but I am.
Oh, the 80s.
No,
with the best
I-
thing
I'm an 80s baby.
No, I used to go to all the clubs in the late 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
Freestyle.
I'm an 80s baby. So like,
Really?
there was nobody calling me kimchi. I'm Haitian.
Oh,
good.
We weren't talking about
Time
Korean
machine.
food. We were talking about Haitian food.
I
uh,
would definitely
pretty
go
cool.
back to
Old house music, freestyle,
high energy.
new
High
wave.
energy music.
The 80s was a great decade for music.
Wait.
I met Judy Torres one time at a club. She looked pretty good. I didn't know she was that
I
tall.
call it techno, but they call it EDM now. But I listen to it all the time. Like, I love
Techno.
it.
Really good dance music, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I listen to like house and like bass and like Aphrodite. If you're gonna like drop, if we're gonna name
Yeah.
drop, like Aphrodite, Gatecrasher. Oh my God, Gatecrasher album 1, Wet is like one of my
Now, who
favorite.
did,
freaking-
Play at your
Chill.
own risk. Was that Snap? Play at your own risk.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not
It's,
lying.
Play at your own risk.
I would have to hear the song. I'm horrible with the names of things.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't
if I
play.
actually throw the name out on something, I'm 1000% obsessed with it. Because otherwise, I'll be like,
Like,
Yeah.
I know the name of some songs, and then like I don't know the name.
Don't
and
play
then,
it because it's copyright. YouTube.
oh no, yeah, I don't play stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because, yeah,
Yeah,
there's always
take
gonna
the
be
video right
problematic. Yeah, like YouTube will take the whole freaking show off for one
Mhm.
freaking song. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
It wasn't always that way, though. I remember when.
well, I mean, people weren't pirating the heck out of other people's work either. So that's part of the problem, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I play the the draw harp thing that goes boing boing boing. I played African djembe drum.
Well, that's cool. I have a kalimba here somewhere that I got recently that I started playing with because I wanted to make some meditations with kalimba music in the background, but I just made a meditation with kalimba. So.
Then I got the Tibetan bowl that you go.
The singing bowls.
Yeah.
I don't always like those. Sometimes that sound is way too much for me, and I'm not the one. Yeah, it's rough. I can't always listen to those. I'm audio sensitive, so.
So if I played 2 years ago I played with the
Camera. I subscribed to your channel, didn't I?
I hope so. Did you subscribe to it on Apple or Spotify or what?
On YouTube, mate. On YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube. Yeah. Totally.
Or add me on Facebook. You know, I'm friends with James P. Madonna, but my name is Geordie Kinnaman, but my last name is a fucking.
I think you can follow me on if you follow me on Facebook, I'll find you because we have one mutual. But like, I have.
What's your name on Facebook?
same thing.
Minuty. It's the damn same. I don't try to make it that complicated.
Just okay.
Because I'm search engine optimized. I'm the only Kimmer Minuty in the United States. So why would I change my name to something else?
Is it Kimmer Henderson?
Yeah, there's no more Kimmer Minuties. It's just me.
You know, I love that. You know what that reminds me of? It's like the other people they got like they're only known by one word, like Sting or
like that's me. I'm Madonna.
Madonna. Yeah,
I'm Madonna. Yeah.
Camera, I think I've got you. I think I've got you on Facebook. I think I added someone called Kimmer Henderson.
No, that's Henderson. That ain't me.
Yeah.
Kimmer Minuty.
The home of the happy haggis.
And it'll say like Kimmer Minuty, and then it should say love in parentheses next to my name. And you should find me. And then on YouTube, it's Kimmer Minuty Ascension Coaching. So you can't really I just tried to like make everything as uniform as possible along all my social media.
Do you have James? Do you have James as a friend? Wait, James P. Madonna.
James and I are friends, aren't we?
Send me Kimmer's Facebook account, please.
Yeah, that'll be easier. James, are we friends? Like now I'm like looking. I'm like, yeah, we are. Oh, we're following each other because because it's hard to be friends. Yeah. Our security is so weird. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I can put Jordy. I can put my Facebook in the private chat. Look in the private chat of the.
Oh, cool.
Right, I can put it in there, and then you just click on.
Yeah.
It. Hold on. So like I go live on Facebook a lot, and
I remember all your astrological videos on Facebook.
Yeah, that's where you found me because on my Indigo Rising page, I've been adminning that page for about 2 or 3 years now. I think it's like 2 years, and they and I just was telling everyone like I'm gonna start moving.
So I got your PayPal account and some other account. Send me your Facebook.
The Facebook right now. Give me 2 seconds. I just had to pop over to another.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my Facebook, and I'm on Instagram too. So like, if you just put my name in, it's the same damn thing.
Awesome.
Or my website's under construction right now. It should be done by January, but you can actually hit my links to my social media on my website. So I'm putting that in the chat too, just so you can like.
Oh, I'm following you.
Boom! Problem solved.
Camera Minuty.
Minuty.
Camera Minuty.
It's like minute with a Y. Minuty.
Music.
It's like
Camera
Minuty on the bounty.
Minuty. Yeah, that's what they used to tell me when I was young. That exact thing. That right there.
Minuty on the bounty.
Minuty on the bounty. Like people used to just give me so much shit when I was a kid. I'd be like, whatever.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
you. Like whatever. Or they call me camera.
Listen now, guys. A wee blue moon.
We blue moon.
A wee blue moon.
Let me show her But now this is why it's good to go to different dollar stores, because you really never know what you're going to find.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the dollar stores always have some interesting stuff.
It's a magnet, you know. It's
Yeah.
made of metal, and it's a.
And then you know what you do? You just go ahead, and if you want to make it helpful, because when things are mass produced like that, they lose their potency. So what you want to do is do an invocation over that piece of work and like wipe it down in something like Florida water or blessing oil, and then it will regain its original potency of the meaning of the symbol. But when you buy something commercially like that through Dollar Tree, it loses its potency. Okay.
I have a half a dozen bottles of Florida water, lavender Florida water.
Dude, freaking send me some. Right, I'm out of Florida water.
The same dollar store where I found this and the St. Benedict's medallion is the same one I buy the Florida water.
Oh, nice.
And if I splash it on as an aftershave, people think it's expensive cologne. They go,
That's hilarious.
God, what is that? What is that aroma? I go,
yeah, Florida water is the original. Like you'd never go wrong with that stuff for protection, for attraction, for prosperity. Like it's multi-use.
Yeah, there's all like a whole array of botanicals in there.
Yeah, like I know I have a recipe to make some, but I've just been lazy, to be honest.
The best cologne I've ever had was Spice Bomb by Veteran Rolf. Like it's this like cinnamon scented spicy aroma thing. Really nice. Spice Bomb by Veteran Rolf. Yeah, very nice aftershave.
Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. When the moon is in the seventh heavens.
Okay, nice.
Florida water. And this is the lavender one. Then they have one that's the original.
Yeah, I usually use the original.
The citrus one, but this one has
Nice.
spike with lavender. It has a really nice aroma to it, but yep, Florida water. So
Well,
Florida water.
I was gonna mention something else that it just totally slipped my mind, but if I remember it, I'll put it in my phone notepad, and it could be a topic for the future. I just can't remember it. I mentioned scrying. I mentioned astrological. This is not what I was going to say, but yeah, is there any special astrological forecast for the beginning of the new year?
man.
Anything?
Yeah.
new?
So in terms of the astrology right now, like I said, Venus is going into retrograde in Capricorn. Venus has to do with your love relationships and how you love things. Capricorn has to do with your money. Okay? Father and authority figures in your life. So right now you should be preparing yourself for the new year, not waiting until the new year to get shit together. So if you are someone who needs help in your life, it's to your advantage right now to get a coach, to go to therapy, to stop drinking, to stop doing drugs, to like decide to take yourself seriously, to figure out your purpose,
Right.
because that's gonna be the conversation that the astrology is pushing.
Okay.
Are you having a good, loving relationship with yourself, first and foremost? And if you're not, what is that looking like in the relationships with the other people that you're having? Okay.
Point, yeah.
Yeah. So you wanna start prepping for the new year now. Like I started prepping for the new year 2 months ago. I start prepping for the new year in October. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, I'm going to be realistic as well. My birthday is actually January the 1st. January.
Oh, you're New Year's baby.
Yeah.
Really? Jordy, that's why you drink so much. No offense. Capricorn.
I know.
Capricorns drink a ton.
My other friend is a New
Yeah.
Year's baby. How about
I
that?
get what you're saying. I need to, like, I am going, like, I took into consideration what you said there.
No, I mean, listen, it's usually the reason you're drinking is because you're very sensitive and you don't have a means to like talk about that, channel that, or be about that in any way, shape, or form in your life right now. What are your options?
Yeah.
Alcohol. So there you are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how that works. And until you can learn to deal with your own sensitivities, that'll be your coping mechanism. Right. Yeah. And I mean, it happens. It just happens. The person that you want to be kind to is you.
Yeah. I do
Because
love my
that is not kind to your liver.
but I drink too much. I will admit that I do drink too much. And
That's also kind of part of your culture too, so don't feel so bad about that too.
Yeah, it's a part of the Scottish culture. We all drink madly.
Part of your culture, Jordy.
You're awesome, Kimra.
It's just like
Jordy.
You're not saying much. Yep, BC, what you up to? You're not saying much.
Festivus is part of your
Yeah,
heritage.
what everybody's saying, man. Everybody's just chatting away like, I don't know, chatty Cathy, man, which sometimes is awesome to watch, see these people just interact and just vibe along so well. Sometimes for me, it's just nice to see this, man, because sometimes I'm just go doing stuff, this, that, and the third, man. Sometimes it's nice just to take in the moment, man, to see just everybody getting along and having a good time, man.
Yeah. You see,
yeah, we can all just get along and kumbaya.
I love you as well. James, I love you to bits, man. You're fucking awesome.
I try.
You're awesome, man. You're probably man.
The kind words and the home of the happy haggis.
The home of the happy haggis. That sounds like a fairy
James,
tale.
have you never actually tried haggis before?
Well, the reason why I say that is because my mother used to take me to the seafood restaurant when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
In a marina called Ed Frick's, and I know it sounds funny, but and it said the home of the happy lobster, and it had a cartoon of a smiling lobster, and I go, Ma, they're killing, they're boiling. I mean, they're cooking the lobsters. How could they be happy?
Yeah, because the lobsters would be in a tank or boiling water. Yeah. And you could like choose what lobster you wanted.
So I would get that. I know South Florida, where my aunt and uncle, they went from Marco Island to the Marathon before they moved, before they got old and moved back up to Maryland, that they were in Marathon Key by the 7 Mile Bridge. And it was a lot of fun. We would go snorkeling and rock lobster. Oh, the B-52s.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Tina, I love that picture that you have. Is that are you an Aries? That's such a cool photo. Look how awesome her artwork is. Or is
she a Taurus?
Cool.
Yeah, Taurus or an Aries? Which one are you?
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, let's go.
Looks like a bull.
Sweet.
Could be either.
Yeah, I like the pink. I like the pink colors.
I like it. It's really nice, guys. I'm gonna get off here. I am hungry.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make dinner too. I'm gonna get off here soon.
It was good chatting with you guys. I appreciate you having me on here. People, please feel free to follow me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor FM with my podcast Gaia Soars, or on TikTok at Kimmer Minuty Ascension, on IG at Kimmer Minuty, or Silver Lining Spirals. Kimmer Minuty is either to find probably. And on Facebook at Kimmer Minuty too. So just if you guys want to reach out, if you need help, I have right now an intuitive guided session where I can sit with you one-on-one and help you make a plan for 2022. If you're confused about what you should be doing with your life or what your purpose is or what it is that's in there in your heart, I'd be more than happy to sit there with you. Those sessions are $222 and you get 2 weeks of follow-up support.
Damn, Cameron, I enjoying that because I've been in a fucking state lately.
I mean, most people have. Honestly, the holidays are shit for a lot of people. And so a lot of people are really depressed right now. And then a lot of people are burying people because of COVID and because of other things. So just a lot is going on. There's a lot of grief happening in the collective and in everybody's day-to-day life. Like my third podcast that's up is about grief and how that affects you in terms of your awakening and what it looks like. And My next one's going to be on gut health because that's another thing that affects you. And
Yeah,
so-
probiotics. I've been making my own kombucha.
yeah,
I've been fermenting my own.
Sure.
yeah, kombucha's good for stuff like that. Sauerkraut's good for stuff like that. And there's also different supplements that if that's too much work for you, you can get some of that. I tell people about those things.
Kefir, but I used to make that. But kombucha is really easy. I got the SCOBY, keeps on growing like the blob. You know,
I
James,
don't have the
James, can I
ability.
say something right away?
I kill plants if
you
I
have
try
the
to
most
grow them.
amazing.
So if you try to
Hold on,
grow
hold on,
something,
I'm sorry. You
Sorry.
said you want a SCOBY?
what's a SCOBY? I've never even heard of it.
It's a living organism that's like a mushroom that makes the kombucha.
Oh, that's cool.
It ferments it.
James,
I
I
don't
want
know
to say
anything about that. Go ahead, Jordy.
you have the most amazing fucking accent ever, James.
I have
That's
the
what-
most amazing ass.
Says
What
the
are you
Scottish
what are you
guy.
trying
No,
to say?
no, accent.
Oh, accent. Me?
Yeah. It's like a New York accent. It's fucking amazing. It's brilliant.
Oh,
That's
you're-
Jersey. He's from
Like,
Jersey.
see, for a Scotsman like me from Glasgow talking to you is fucking brilliant. Especially you. And you, camera. Awesome.
Well, you don't have
I could talk like I'm from Boston. I could pocket Kai and Harvard Yard if I wanted to.
Like,
You know,
I'm a Scotsman who is obsessed with Americans, like with American culture, American beer, American
Oh, man,
everything.
I'm better
American.
thing to be
I'm
obsessed
bored
with.
with America.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
love
I'm trying to
America.
leave this
I
country.
love America.
I'm over it. I'm trying to go somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so if anybody needs help, go ahead and reach out to me on social media. I'd be more than happy to help you.
It's been a pleasure. Let's do it again, maybe in a different
definitely.
format. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go as well. I'm gonna leave this to do. So cheers, camera. Cheers, BC. Cheers,
It was a
Jay.
pleasure.
Love you
Cheers.
guys. You're all awesome. Goodbye.
Bye.
right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, another time. That'd be great. And thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. BC, it was a pleasure being
Yep.
the chatty Cathy for you.
You know, maybe like you ever, it might be interesting if people contacted the show and you did like really short, abbreviated tarot card messages.
Yeah, I can actually do one card polls for people.
Yeah, that's it. One card poll.
I can do one card poll, and if you just want to do, we can do a show where they can do like $5 for a card, and they can just PayPal or Venmo me, and then I'll pull a card for them. Like,
Yeah,
It's
Venmo. Like I could put the Venmo in the marquee, scrolling marquee,
yeah,
and you can do like mini readings for
Yeah.
$5. Little.
yeah, like little mini readings. Like, what do you need to work on now? Here's the card, and those are easy because I pull cards all the time. Like, I have so many decks now. Like, a friend of mine stopped using all her decks, and she gave me like 13 card decks. That was like so fun. So I have all different types of them for life purpose, for healing, for shadow work, for unicorns, ascended masters, angels, ancestors. I have all types of fun stuff.
Yeah. So you would like randomly pick a card out of multiple decks?
No, there's nothing random about the cards. They're very specific to the individual.
Yeah. No, what I mean is
I would just use a specific deck for them, and it may not be the same deck for each person.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll just be whatever that person like. My guides will tell me which deck to use for the person who pays.
Okay.
It's really fun. It's super
Sounds
easy.
really interesting. It's worth doing. It's unique, that's for sure.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All
you
right.
go make your dinner and
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. I'm starving.
Yeah.
It was real great talking to you guys. I appreciate you once again. Y'all stay blessed out there and find me on social media if you guys need my help. Okay. Have a great day.
all right, take
Yeah.
care.
Bye.
Have a good week. Yeah, that was I knew this would be a really interesting, unique show.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mike showed up.
Yeah. Mike literally, he forgot that he said he wanted to be on it. Anyway, you look like you were really enjoying your dinner tonight. That must have tasted really good with all that sour cream on the potato.
Yeah, it was so good. And you know that simple garlic, salt, and black pepper on there. But that steak tastes really good. I mean, it seemed like it brought out a lot of flavor out of that steak. But then again, it could have just been the steak itself too. So the steak was so good. It was like, what do they call that? It's not medium well, it's not medium raw, but it was like right in the middle of.
No, it looked good. It looked really
Yeah.
good. I mean, it was, if you overcook beef, it gets dry and you lose the flavor.
Yeah, it gets tough. Yeah.
And people don't understand that the more marbling of fat you have in a steak, the more tender and flavorful it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I can't keep going on. Well, I could keep going on about the steak, but the steak, like I said, it was so juicy. After I got it off, it was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. It almost made me want to get another one, but it was the only steak I had in the house. Not that I'm.
Now, if you do get another steak, try, especially if something's on sale, try to marinate it in the refrigerator. Even if you marinate it for a few days or a week. Like I'll give you an example. Years ago, London broil, which is a cheap ass, tough as shoe leather beef. It was on sale for like, I think it was like $1.99 a pound or something.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to get it because I know how it is. It's too lean. There's no marbling of fat. It's tough. So I didn't want to get it. Then I came up with an idea. I go, you know what? Let me get it and let me marinate it for about a week in the teriyaki sauce with the with the rice wine vinegar, with the dark sesame oil, and let me do it that way. And let me tell you, by the end of the week, it was as tender as filet mignon.
Okay.
So it's not so. All is not lost if you buy meat like that real cheap on sale.
Yeah.
But you gotta punch a lot of holes in it. You gotta put your marinated ingredients and you gotta top it off with a little water so the entire steak is submerged.
And
the vinegar, between the vinegar and the soy sauce and everything, it gets in there and it breaks down the fibers, and your cheap, inexpensive slab of beef becomes high quality.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like chuck roast. What is it that they use in
chuck?
beef?
Yeah. Chuck roast. Now, if you get a chuck steak, I like the bone. I like the bone-in chuck steak because it has more fat, marbling, and every time I eat meat or fish with the bone, it has more flavor. I notice.
Yeah.
More tasty.
It's like them pork loins that I get. I know it don't have meat or bones in it, but the fat, I generally leave that fat on there. I mean, you see some of the pork loins that I've gotten, just left it in there. The only thing I might have done was squirt them. Oh, like get the smoke and maybe the dry rub into the meat. So, I mean, essentially the fat's still on there. That kind of, I said the fat on top so all the juices could run down the sides to the bottom of the loin, and it gives it so much flavor. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah. Now, the pork loin is probably the easiest thing to marinate because pork loins are tender by nature, right?
Yeah, which is kind of ironic, seeing how it runs along the back and it helps the animal move around. So,
Do you think a pork loin is the same type of meat as a center cut pork chop with the bone, which I happen to love?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes.
It's like center cut pork chop is like a white meat.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, essentially all pork. Well, okay, most pork is a white meat, but you are going to get some of that dark meat too, like in a turkey or something.
Yeah. So, what's going on? So, Nina Yordi, what's going on by you in the ocean state of Rhode Island? What's happening? She has the yellow mustard dresser or I don't know what the hell it is, table in her living room. Mustard yellow table. That's her trademark.
I haven't seen her in a while. How you doing, Nina?
I don't know if she's there. Well, she hasn't been around in a long time.
Yeah.
She hasn't been on any of the shows. But I can understand if somebody gets bored of some of the shows because you got to go out and look. If it's easy for me to get the item, like I don't do theme items. I do items that are easy for me to get. Like I'm not going to sweat it trying to get a special item.
Oh yeah.
No, I get what I can get. That's what I do. I get what I can get.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get paid from YouTube. Mr. Terrio, he gets a check. I don't get paid. So why should I sweat it to try to get a special beer or whatever? I like the open, the wild card theme. Now,
Yeah, 'cause I can tell you right now. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of it, but doing a beer review show can get pretty expensive, and
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Terrio. I mean, I'm glad he gets some good deals from the stores nearby, but I don't get them kind of deals. That's
well,
a week on my channel.
neither do I. Liquor is expensive up by me, but I'm happy for him that he gets those deals, but I don't get them. And in the South, everybody has a liquor department. Walmart, Aldi's, Trader Joe's. Everybody has a liquor department. Over here in New Jersey, you got too many. I don't know what the problem is really. They only allow mom and pop stores, and I don't like the mom and pop stores because the owners are very independent in what they want to keep, what they want to get, what they want to stock their shelves with. They're way too independent. Their prices are high. They have an arrogant attitude about them, But being that I don't drink that much anyway, this is why I like Fandango Friday, because I get the airline bottles. And now, January 1st, regular hard liquor is added to the Fandango Friday roster. So it doesn't have to be just a liqueur.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
It could be any hard liquor.
So somebody could do like a apple schnapps, and somebody else could do like a bourbon of some sort. Yeah.
Bourbon. Somebody could bring a flavored bourbon. Somebody can bring a Scotch whiskey, an Irish whiskey, Canadian whiskey, a vodka, whatever you like. If it's liquor or liqueur, you can bring it. And because he realizes that there's only so many liqueurs out there,
Yeah.
and a lot of times the liquor stores by me, they don't prioritize the airline bottles by keeping a full inventory of them,
Yeah.
and ordering them every week like they should. And I'm not going to buy a large bottle. No way am I buying a large bottle of liqueur every damn week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to
And
happen.
it's like, I don't know if I told you this one, but I wanted to try Johnny Walker Blue Label, right? Okay. Now, I don't know how expensive it is over there where you're at, but over here it's about
expensive.
it's about $250 over here for a fifth. And I'm not spending $250 on a fifth of what is that, Scotch? Blended Scotch? No. What I seen this, I don't know if it was a 4-pack or a 5-pack, but I know they had a sampler pack of like them shot glasses or airplane bottles.
Yeah.
The black, double black, and like some type of 18th anniversary one, and then the blue label. And it was like, okay, these are all shot glasses. It was like, I don't know, I think $20, $25 for the whole thing. So I bought it, took it home, tried the blue label. It's not worth, in my humble opinion, it's not worth the $250. So
Yeah, no, it's not. Get what do you call get a get if you're gonna get a premium quality Scotch, get like a Glenlivet or a Buchanan's, like a single malt, like a 15-year-old or 18-year-old single malt.
yeah, no, I've got a Glenfiddich 18 or no, 15, yeah, Glenfiddich 15-year-old. I've got one open bottle and one unopened bottle. I love this Scotch, but I don't drink it often. It explains why I've got a bottle and a half of it sitting in my cabinet. But to me, it's really good. I enjoy that one.
Is Glenfiddich blended or a single malt?
It's a single malt.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's like something you drink for special occasions, like
Last time I had it was I'd say St. Patrick's Day. I think 3 years ago, 3 years ago. So explains why I only got a half a bottle of it.
Yeah, you have like, let's say it happens to be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or New Year's Day, and there's snow on the ground, and you got your fire pit going.
Yeah,
you want to drink something special outside, sit outside. That's of course neat. No ice with that kind of Scotch.
yeah.
No ice. That's like an insult to
Scott lovers alike. Yeah, I don't want to do that. No.
Yeah, why would you want to ruin such a high quality whiskey by putting ice in it and having it watered down? But
one thing I might have with that Scotch is a good cigar. So
yeah.
good cigar,
Well,
really nice with a bourbon.
I'm going to shut down and go rustle up some victuals for myself. And it's been a great show. I know that I'll probably do Fandango Friday from my sister's house on New Year's Eve. I probably will have eggnog with rum in it.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, this might be a question to ask Ron, but now for Fandango Friday, now would it work if I had eggnog with bourbon in it? Would that be the same thing?
Sure.
Okay.
You can put bourbon in eggnog.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, that I know, but I was wondering if it would work for
Yeah. Well, it's a sweetened, it's a sweet drink, eggnog
yeah.
with liquor in it. Yeah, that's what Terrio is bringing this coming Friday, Christmas Eve. He's bringing eggnog.
Oh, is it? Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so it'll be his show usually starts early, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, so that's way before the way before the Christmas Eve festivities.
Yeah.
And I'll just do it on my phone from my sister's house. No problem.
Yeah.
I won't have any of my bells and whistles and noisemakers, but I'll be there. It was a great show, Jason Cleveland with Kimra Minuty. It was very different, very unique. It was good. So I guess, yeah, I'll be home. I'll be home next Sunday. It'll be the day after Christmas Day. I'm not sure. Whoever can be on will be on. Whoever can will be on. If nobody can be on, then I'll postpone it to the following Sunday.
That reminds me.
Simple as that.
Christmas is this coming Saturday, right?
Saturday is Christmas Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know when it's going to start, but my sister's having a Christmas thing at her place on Sunday. So if I could join, I'll join. So I'm letting you know now. I just thought about it just now because I seen her.
When is her festivities usually begin?
That's what it was. I went to my niece's birthday party. That started at 5. So I'll probably be able to join you maybe for about an hour. I have to get a ride from my parents to go out to my sister's house. So they'll probably want to pick me up around 4:00. That's if the thing starts at 5. But I'll keep you updated on what's going on.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Bart. It was a great show. I'm just gonna have spaghetti with organic tomatoes, marinara sauce, nothing fancy, or Trader Joe's organic tomatoes. All right, gentlemen. I am going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone who came aboard, viewers of all individuals. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, everyone who will be watching the rerun of this show, as well as the ones who came on live. We had Geordie from Scotland, the BC Beer Review from Michigan, Kimra Minuty in Florida, Michael Hilton in San Francisco, Jason Cleveland in the comments section, Bart Robinson, Nina Yordi, Ronnie S. stopped by, Masumi stopped by from Japan, Tommy Carroll, And thank you, everybody. And some messages from Mike Hilton. So
I was gonna say,
the clam sauce. Yeah, I did a show, but I mean, I did a consumer advocate Chiseler's Hall of Shame segment on that Luigi Vitelli clam sauce, that despicable excuse for clam sauce. The you know, and I threw in Marie Callender and banquet pot pies loaded with cheap filler white potatoes, and they all deserve to be in the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Take care, everyone. Adios. Have a great week. A great holiday week.
Yeah,
That's
Merry
right.
Christmas, guys.
That's right. Merry Christmas to all, because our shows are Sunday. So take care, everyone.
Yep.
They're a massive salt lick, and they're loaded with cheap ass white potatoes with very little meat. It's really a ripoff. It really is. I'm glad I brought them up.
You could use them for deer hunting.
You know, well, I'm sure possums and raccoons would love to chow down on that garbage.
Yeah.
Or pot-bellied pigs, or whatever.
You know, they're opportunist eaters, man. You know, they'll eat anything. They're like goats.
Whatever they can find, they will eat. They're predatory. They're scavengers. Like, they'll eat something dead. They're vegetarian, vegan.
Also, they're omnivores.
They're omnivorous. They're omnivorous. They're omnivorous opportunists, which means they can be predatory, but then again, they can be scavengers also. It's just like whatever they eat, whatever. Like when I had a Australian blue-tongued skink. A skink will eat dead carcasses. A skink will eat live things. A skink will eat fruit, veggies. You know, it's just like there must be a scientific word for a creature like that. That they're just all the above. All the above. So anyway, well, we're not all the above, because otherwise we'd be in a hospital with food poisoning. But their digestive system could handle roadkill with rigor mortis.
All the diseases.
Vultures. You know, there's a vulture called the bearded vulture that likes to eat the bones of the carcass. It'll go after the bones more than anything else. It'll swallow the bones.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't do that.
And digest the bones of the carcass. It's called the bearded vulture. It's amazing, Mother Nature, you know.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.